As I've always said, sometimes I think this university project's gotten way out of hand. Welcome to episode 600 of Motorsport 101. We're totally going to pretend like this is the first time we've tried to record this. Hey, I'm Dre Harrison. The extra story will be on Patreon or something, I don't know. But glad you could join us here for our 600th episode here on Motorsport 101. And wow, this has been nearly 11 years in the making. It's 11 years in October. The very first episode of the show was a review of the 2014 Russian Grand Prix, the first time F1 raced at Sochi. A race that was effectively over after 15 seconds when Nico Rosberg locked his front tyres up into turn 2, and the race was effectively over right there and then. Safe to say, the world has changed an awful lot in those 11 years, but some things remain consistent. Apparently, me hosting this podcast. That's weird. This is my 557th appearance on here, and I still love every minute of it, somehow. So thank you. Thank you for inviting us into your homes, into your ears, into your car drives, to your runs, whatever it may be. We're glad you're here. You're still here. Whether it's even your first episode, it's because every podcast is somebody's first. Thank you for giving us a chance. It's much appreciated. I'm Dre Harrison. Glad you could join us. And joining me, as ever, is Mr. RJ O'Connell. RJ, what we got cooked up for episode 600?
Well, first and foremost, Dre, thank you for having me on for a lot of this ride. Nearly a decade. God, how the years have gone by. So we decided for episode 600, since we are now in the phase where, much like every birthday after 21, excluding the 10s, the birthdays are just like, I don't know, 600, 700, 800. You don't really get like the big ones until we get to like 750 or 1,000. Heaven forbid. But we decided to bring back the retro watch-alongs. If you were following us during the pandemic in 2020, when we were understandably for a few months out of real-life racing content to cover, we did retro race watch-alongs. Basically like riff tracks, where we recorded ourselves watching the race. You could play this along while you watch the race. We did 2 of these. We did the 2012 Formula One Brazilian Grand Prix, and we did the 2015 MotoGP Australian Grand Prix. We are not doing either of those. Instead, we decided to dig into our third series that we primarily cover, as we have since 2015, the IndyCar series, and go back further in time to the year Dre was born, because we're going to be watching the 1992 Indianapolis 500.
Yes, thanks for reminding me that I'm 33 years old next month. But yes, it is the 1992 Indianapolis 500 for our third M101 watch-along. It's going to be a rambunctious time. I genuinely do not know what's happened in this race. I'm firing blind on this one. It's not like the first 2 where I had a rough idea of what had already happened. This time I'm genuinely going in none the wiser. So RJ will be carrying me through the next 3 hours or so. And that's bound to make it interesting, to say the least. So
And not just that, I'm having to carry the weight of all my co-hosts past. The Adam Johnsons, the Ryan Kings, the Cam Buckleys of the world. Cam's still with us, but because he is at the DMV right now, all I'm saying is there is a giveaway incentive that comes up in this race. And if his Corvette is not better than the one they're giving away, at halfway through this race, we're going to be so disappointed.
Oh, yeah, we're going to kill him. We are going to feed him into a train engine, one of the old steam ones from yesteryear. Because, like I said, if it's the only thing Cameron Buckley loves more than this podcast, it's the Boston Celtics and his Corvette. Spoken like a true 30s white boy, over in the US of A, even though he's only 27. The swine. Gutted he can't be here, but I will paper in the cracks as best I can. So we'll do the general housekeeping at the end of the show.
Right.
But just so you know, if you want to watch along with us, this full race is available on IndyCar's YouTube channel. It's the one that's 3 hours, 1 minute, and 18 seconds long. And you can sync up with RJ the moment he hits play on this video to watch along, and you can basically have our audio commentary in the background. Isn't that neat?
Of course, but first, I think you should give us the countdown and tell me to press the button when we say go.
Okay, let's do this. RJ, you can hit play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hit it.
All right. It's the 1992 Indianapolis 500. And I have to say, Dre, it is cold. Temperatures in the mid-50s Fahrenheit with wind chill about in the 30s Fahrenheit. It is one of the coldest Indianapolis 500s on record. And plus, Jim Nabors is the first face we really see without a helmet on. So seeing back home again in Indiana.
Oh, yeah, of course. Gotta love Jim Nabors.
Gotta love it. Like, I gotta say, there's something just right about the fact that and I'm not saying that every racing fan like this, but there's a certain type of racing fan who hates people like me, hates people like Jim Nabors, but man, they love to hear Jim Nabors sing back home in Indiana. Oh, but not only that, we're getting all the visual accompaniment.
Visual aids here.
Yes. The gleaming candlelight of downtown Indianapolis, of course.
Yeah.
So yeah, as I mentioned, it's cold. And what a star-studded field we have. We have 10 previous winners of the 500 to this point in 1992. And for the only time in history, 3 four-time winners of this race are on the grid because Rick Mears just won his 4th. AJ Foyt has stalled his retirement plans, and Al Unser has been called in as an injury substitute.
RJ might want to turn it down to about 10% because the volume's a little bit loud for the Riverside chat.
And look, people say that I'm too loud for this. That's fine.
Yeah, no, it's not you, RJ. The race itself, mate.
All right. So there's Roberto Guerrero, your pole sitter, and I can't wait to tell you about his story because him winning the pole with a record qualifying run, first driver to average in the 230 mile per hour range. I mean, that's a terrific story. Can't wait to get into it. Mary Frederick Holman to give the command to start engines. Lord knows she was at this job forever.
Yeah.
And notice, she said, lady and gentlemen, because Lynn St. James, former Ford factory IMSA driver, is making her first start in the race. First woman in the field since Janet Guthrie way back in the late 70s and early 80s. We got all the stars here.
It is also wild that we're talking about 230 miles an hour here. Basically modern-day Indy 500 speeds.
Unprecedented.
230 would have got you in the show last year.
Yeah. And when I see this montage of all the drivers starting up their engines, God, this is like a murderer's row of who's who in this race. Mario Andretti's here. We have 4 Andrettis representing 2 generations of the family in this race for the second time. We have 2 generations of the Unser family in this race together. Again, that wasn't supposed to happen.
So these cars are incredibly pretty, by the way.
Oh, yes. Very pretty cars. And something that's a bit different if you're newer to IndyCar, not the same chassis. You had a choice of chassis suppliers. I mentioned it in recent episodes. Penske used to build their own chassis. Teams used to buy them from companies like Lola. Most of the field is all Lolas. There's a team, True Sports, that built its own chassis. And there's a company called Galmer, that is Rick Gallis and Alan Mertens, designing a new chassis that debuted in 1992. And now the pace laps are underway. We'll get a handful of these, Trey.
Yep.
And look, it's a young Chip Ganassi. And you want to know how times have changed. Chip Ganassi only recently retired from racing himself. He was a former driver. His team is only 3 years old. He only has one full-time driver. It's Eddie Cheever.
Future broadcaster Eddie Cheever. That is a very young-looking Chip.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's further back in the field. That is John Paul Jr. Stalling from the the outside of row 6. But they are going to get him going.
Yeah, there you go. They had to push him off, but they got him going.
Yeah. There's Bobby Rahal, who at this stage is the IndyCar Series points leader. Drake, look at that. 51 degrees temperature. That is still
not
one
hot.
of the cold. Yeah, that is still one of the coldest 500s of record. Of course, the race is still 500 miles and 200 laps. Ari Leindijk set the average speed record in 1990. He's in this field. The field average, 223.479 miles per hour. That would not get you into the show if you put down that run in 2025. Now, Jack Arute, pit report for ABC, is explaining that the pit road does close when the caution comes out. That's relatively new at this time. So are pit lane speed limits. Strangely enough. And then we got the speedometer display on this and everything, Dre.
Oh yeah.
So they'll know when you're speeding in pit lane.
Oh yeah. So Jay, volume on the mix on the video goes as low as you can because it's still a bit clashy. People in the chat have mentioned.
All right. 76. Yeah, look, we have a choice of not only multiple chassis, but also 3 different American-made engines. We have Ford Cosworth, which is new. We have 2 different specs of Chevrolet engines. The newest ones went to Penske and Buick. And I think this time I talk about Roberto Guerrero for a second. I mean, driving part-time for Kenny Bernstein's Quaker State racing team, setting the qualifying record. The first 4 years, from 84 to 87, that he came to this race, never finished lower than 4th. He could have won at 87. He didn't because of a broken clutch caused by a tire that nearly struck him in the head and killed him. 4 months later, he suffered a near-fatal testing crash and spent 17 days in a coma. Only very risky treatment brought him back out to not just live somewhat of a normal life, but to race again. His career was in the doldrums after he came back. Part-time deals, sponsorships that fell through, bad deals with Alfa Romeo, but now, finally, Dre, in 1992, from the pole of the Indy 500, I think Roberto Guerrero's career has never looked better.
I feel like you're setting me up for something here. I don't like it, O'Connell.
What could possibly...
Oh!
It's Roberto Guerrero crashing on the second pace lap.
Hi, Scott McLaughlin. How you doing?
Oh, my gosh. Now, Krista Hardy, who has studied this race back to front 100,000 times, told me that King Racing, his team, Kenny Bernstein's team, did a lot of testing when the weather was very cold They had an entire binder full of info about what to do in cold temperatures. And they also knew that the Buick V6 engine tended to give you a lot of power all at the same time, which is not so bad when it's warm out, but not when it's cold like this.
Just lost it on his own. Just overcooked it, loses grip, spins out and into the inside wall at turn 2. Unbelievable.
I mean, you just don't know what to say. I mean, in a situation like that, I mean, and he was so excited with and quick too. And Roberto was feeling really good about this race. Like, the Buick engines have their reliability problems, of course, but he was feeling especially good that with a car this quick, if it just lasts 500 miles, he's got a chance to win it. So now, all of a sudden, Eddie Cheever is going to be the highest starting driver. There will only be 2 cars in the front row. He'll be next to Mario Andretti, the 69 winner. I mean, what happens from here?
Who knows?
Oh, and this is not good. This is another car that's crashed during the pace lap. This is Frenchman Philippe Gache, who's trying to be the first Frenchman to win this race in ages. Rene Tomas was the last one, thinking back in the 1920s. I can't remember exactly which year, but it's going to be a rough race for Philippe. Let's just say. He does not go on to have the same success that a Simon Pagenaud does later on down the line. He was the first Frenchman in this race in 52 years. And it looks like he's already having trouble before it ever gets going. Although, say nothing about the trouble that Roberto Guerrero's having.
Yeah, no kidding.
So it looks like we're going to get a delayed start at this. I mean,
inevitable.
We're going to talk about this. I mean, 4 generations of the Andretti family. You got 4 different Andrettis today. 2 generations. Mario's here. John is here. Jeff is here. And Michael is here as last year's IndyCar Series champion with one of the brand new Ford engines. And not just that, a prospect for the McLaren F1 team, perhaps in the near future.
RJ, is there any way you can lower your main PC's mic? The output's still very loud in my headphones.
All right, you want...
Because I know you can't put the YouTube volume any lower.
Do you want the Chrome volume down?
Yeah, maybe.
All right, Chrome is now down about 2/5 of what it was.
It's still coming out the same in my headphones. Maybe it's a Riverside thing. See, now it's on mute.
Yep, because there is basically no margin between mute. This is as low as it will go.
Okay, cool.
All right. I'll leave all that fluff in because, Dre, we got a 1992 Indianapolis 500 watch.
Oh, yeah?
That's right. Everybody is getting ready.
Here we go. We're lining up on the green.
Remember, we waste no time at all getting the green. Eddie Cheever's going to lead them to the green flag, or so he thinks, because look out, the Andrettis are coming. Oh my goodness, and Michael and Mario pincer him out. Cheever drops to 3rd.
That was the good old family squeeze for a second there. For a hot minute. That was almost tactical. So let's get Cheever out of the way here.
And you know who's moving to the front. Michael Andretti carrying the number 1. He is the defending IndyCar Series champion. That's why he gets to run the number 1. Who is the defending USAC Gold Cup champion? Well, it's Rick Mears, because he won last year's Indy 500. There's only one race in that championship, but that's neither here nor there. If you want to know who the 92 Cup champion is, it'll be whoever wins this race. God, Michael's
He's
blowing
gone.
this field away.
He's already like out of the slip. You would never get this in a modern day 500. He's already like got nearly half the back straight in favor already.
And Mario, who even in his early 50s is still a regular race winner, podium fixture, can't keep up.
Man's struggling out there.
Eddie Cheever down in third. I mean, fair play to him to start in the front row in just his third Indy 500 start. Remember, he spent a decade in the midfield of Formula One. Actually, scratch that. That's not Eddie Cheever at all. That's Ari Leyendijk making a move into second place.
The fastest man ever at this speedway, Ari Leyendijk.
Quite good. Won it in 1990 with a record speed. Worth noting that Newman Haas changed top gear for Michael Andretti's car because they anticipate it's not just cold, it's windy. And Mario got that same change too. So right up front, Newman Haas Racing looking strong. For those of you who don't know, back in the day, Newman Haas Racing, I'd say they're like what Ganassi is now, back in 92. They're what Era McLaren thinks they are now, back in 1992. There's no relation to the Andretti team that we now know and love today.
Oh, yeah. I mean, as Vic in the chat would rightly say, as Ed would tell us if he was here, Mario would still try and enter now if they let him.
Hang on a minute. We got another run for... That is third?
Cheever comes back.
That's right. So I believe... Oh, they're going to show us restart. I mean...
Come here, boy.
That is one of the coolest sights I've ever seen, man.
My man is below the white line and almost on the grass to take the lead of that. Michael Andretti was a bold man.
Yeah, I mean, he's the best at that time. And here's the defending champ, Rick Mears. He's got the over-the-shoulder onboard, which is such a relic of the 1990s, man.
But in 1992, it's prime-time technology.
It's a good crowd. The series is unified. It's bright. It's vibrant. There's seemingly no trouble on the horizon whatsoever. I mean, Formula One is just like, they're wondering, like, what the heck do we do to maintain?
Oh!
We have trouble. We have trouble.
Car smoking.
That is a car smoking. That is Eric Bachelard, the Belgian rookie, making his first Indianapolis 500 start. But it's only going to last 4 laps. He is done.
Yep, that engine's smoking. He's out, and that's the caution.
Yep. And for those of you watching, or maybe listening along, you'll notice there's no broken timing tower. Because there is no timing tower in 1992. Such a thing doesn't exist. What a silly question to ask.
Yeah, like, you take this for granted. If this was 2025, we'd be bitching about it while watching on Discord for the next half hour.
What is a Discord? Is that piracy?
I have no idea. It's like it's like putting a bunch of phones in a ring and we all talk to each other at the same time, like we're all trying to work the stock market.
So it's like a conference call, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Dre, I mentioned the reliability of those production-based Buick V6 engines. Eric's got one of those motors in his car, and it's done blown up. Fun fact, that is one of Dale Coyne Racing's 2 entries in this race.
Oh.
If that shows you how long he's been in the game.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yep. One of the
Dale Coyne's still here. Still the league.
He's still here. He's still in the league. Remember, no pitting under a closed pit, of course. And of course, Eric Bachelard would go on to have some career. He set a record for the fewest number of laps with multiple 500 starts. But he'd find success as a team owner and as the owner of Conquest Racing, which had competed in IndyCar and now competes in the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. Still very much active in the world of motorsport these days.
Yep, we love us some IMSA.
Danny Sullivan down in 9th place. He's still with the Gallus Craco team, which no longer has Bobby Rahal because Bobby Rahal started his own team, Rahal Hogan. He's partnered with Carl Hogan, to start up his own racing team and be both the owner and the driver of the Miller Genuine Draft Machine. And what's Mario going down to the pits? Pit lane is open, I'm assuming, because the engine cover is blown off.
Engine cover's gone.
It ain't just the engine cover, it's the engine cover and the side pods. It's all of it.
Let it all hang out, Mario.
Unconventional method of cooling, of course.
I've never seen so many men work on an engine so quickly before. There's like 5 of them hanging over that thing, furiously fettling.
So what they're doing there is replacing all the spark plug leads. That is a mechanical issue that he's having. It's not just cosmetic, although it would be wild if he ran the rest of the race like that.
It's like a really bad episode of Scrap Heap Challenge. Yeah. That's Junkyard Wars to you US listeners out there.
Yeah, that's Kenny Bernstein, drag racing legend, explaining what happened, what Roberto Guerrero told him when he spun during the pace laps. And this is a tough deal for him. Kenny Bernstein, while still being active in drag racing as a driver, is fielding teams in NASCAR and in IndyCar. And this was the only race that they planned to run. And for them, one half of their cars is out. Out of all this, Lynn St. James is doing well to avoid the carnage and hang around there in 22nd.
Yep.
Remember, she, of course, back in the day was a Ford factory GTO driver back in the wild days of IMSA.
Oh, the wild west of American prototype racing.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Is it wild that I first learned that from Randy Lerner's Bad Sport documentary on Netflix?
Not at all.
If you haven't seen that, I haven't seen it. I highly recommend it. It's well worth a watch.
Scott Brayton and Gary Bettenhausen up there in the top 5 as well. 2 more cars with Buick engines, and those 2 had always been quick at the 500, if nowhere else. Bettenhausen, I said before, he's like the Ed Carpenter of his day, because he's an Indiana guy. He would always try and win this race. He's always quick enough to win this race, but never actually could. We're back to Green, and Michael Andretti has gapped the field.
Again?
Yeah, he's leaving the 2 Ganassi cars behind, which is a tough thing to do in 2025. Not so tough in 92, but you get the point.
Yeah, Alex Palou has been benched by a second and a half off a restart. That's something I will probably not say for the rest of this year, and maybe more than that.
And now Cheever's got to watch Scott Brayton behind him in that Amway sponsored car. One of the Penske's in the shop for the first time. I mean, Penske's got, it's good when Rick Mears is only kind of running this part-time deal. Okay. But it's okay because they're training Paul Tracy as an apprentice. This dorky little Canadian. And and the other car is Emerson Fittipaldi, who's on screen right now.
Powered by his immaculate sideburns.
Yes, and his orange farm. Hopefully that doesn't become a recurring plot device. No! Well, we're 10 laps into it, and Tom Sneva, the 1983 champion of the race, has crashed out, and the yellow is out.
The Indy 500's last rookie pole sitter. Hi, Robert Schwartzman fans. I hope you're listening out there.
Well, Tom's an old man. He's been at this game a while, and he's taken some hard hits, but obviously the cars are a lot faster than he was used to in his prime, and he's taken a bit of time to get out of here.
I love that we still have the IndyCar immaculate safety team we have now, and in this case, it's just dude in shirt and jeans running over with a fire extinguisher. I love it.
Yeah. So they get to him relatively. They're all dragging stuff around here like this is crazy. Yeah. So Dre, that's a pretty hard hit, and thankfully, I can't say, as I said, there will be a lot of carnage in this race, but thankfully, everybody involved in the wreck goes on to race another day, which is good. We would not have selected this race if that wasn't the case. Gotcha. This was a rough lick for Tom. What this doesn't show on the broadcast is that a young Buddy Lazier is coming out of the pits. I'll hold that thought because, yeah, that's a big hit out of 4.
Yeah, that engine cover is in the fence.
It's left side too. I mean, that's a hard hit by itself. And I mentioned Al Unser is an injury substitute, the older Al Unser. Nelson Piquet was going to run that race. And on the Friday before the first day of time trials, he crashes there head on in a time before they said that the driver's feet have to be behind the center line of the wheel. Piquet suffers like really bad. Like, look, we know what we think of Nelson Piquet now. In his later years, super shit they said, but that is a hard hit. He spends a year of rehabilitation just to try and get back to walking normally again. That is a hard hit.
That's a rough one, man.
And I say this to say this. This was a rough hit. Steven's going to give a thumbs up to the crowd. He'll shake it off. Sadly, this is his last 500 start, so not the way he wanted to go out of this event. It's not due to this crash. It's just due to the passage of Father Time. But a young Buddy Lazier comes out of the pits with mechanical trouble. And I got to tell you, he has a very close call with one of the marshals intervening at the scene of Steven's crash.
Jeez.
At 200 miles per hour.
Not ideal.
If they caught that on camera now, we wouldn't just be asking for Buddy Lazier to have his IndyCar license taken away. We'd be asking for him to have his civilian driver license taken away. And thank goodness nothing absolutely tragic came of that. The Lazier and the corner worker eventually reconciled. But man, that's a frightening scene.
Oh, Roberto Guerrero on the sidelines and out before even turning a lap.
This race is just so cruel, man.
He's just explaining now how he just lost control of his car and he's driving completely normally, and next thing you know, he's lost grip and he's in the wall and his race is over.
He hoped it was a dream or a nightmare, but unfortunately, this is real. Now, I'm very glad to tell you that Roberto Guerrero does have more opportunities to come back and try and win this race. Kenny Bernstein hires him full-time the next year. He's part of the first couple of Indy Racing League seasons, and he has another quick car in 96, but unfortunately, it just didn't work for him that year either. I think there is a fair chance to be made that, Dre, you think about some of the guys that we've seen in our generation, who's the best driver that we've seen at the 500 that never won it? Carlos Munoz is one. I'm not just saying that because, like Roberto Guerrero, he's Colombian.
Yeah.
Roberto Guerrero was very much that guy in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, I can imagine. But this day, you've probably got Pato Awards, the obvious one. Felix Rosenquist has come close a couple of times.
This was left to save his car. He just has contusions on his chest, hip, and his feet. He'll be released from Methodist Hospital that same night, which is good.
Yeah.
But already sending a tone, we got mechanical attrition, and we've got the perfect conditions for a lot of carnage.
No kidding.
And now to run a segment about the very first car that won the Indianapolis 500, the Marvin Wasp.
Complete with grey and black and white filter. Because this was innovative for 1992. A historical segment in a historical race. And with old school musical jingle too.
But now look at what these Indy cars look like nowadays. Sophisticated, cutting edge, space age technology.
An LCD display was considered cutting edge in 1992.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I could play a game and watch on that.
Oh my God. You're playing your Game Boy in this. You can you don't have to sit at home and play your Nintendo Entertainment System. You can crank up the boost on this. You can adjust the weight jacker on this. You can adjust the brake bias and all that.
But can I play that octopus game on a Tiger device?
Can it play Doom? We're not quite there yet. Although I got to say, 92 in video games. I mean, Street Fighter 2 and Mortal Kombat being out the same year. I mean, that alone puts the class of 92 arcade games in the inner circle of the Hall of Fame.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like, those two games alone would inspire more games inspired by them, which are good, and more games inspire them, which are awful garbage. And we still talk about them 33 years later.
Can't argue with any of that, man. Two of the greats.
Yes, sir. So under this pit cycle, Eddie Cheever has taken the lead of the race. I mean, we mentioned he had a solid decade-long Formula One career. To get a decade in F1 is an accomplishment, even though he never really came close to win because he never really had the opportunity to drive for teams that could win a race. There's his wife, Rita.
You gotta love those big 90s hoop earrings like she's in an episode of EastEnders. The Brits will know when I say Pat Butcher. Also, Target gear in my Indy car.
Tom Anderson serving as team manager deputy under Chip Ganassi Racing. But yeah, this is just before the Target cars became the icons that we know and love today, because Ganassi didn't become the championship-winning powerhouse until the mid-90s. We're still a ways away from it. There is Al Unser Jr., who's been at this for about a decade. He's won pretty much everything the sport has had to offer except the Indianapolis 500. Now, does that sound like another American driver around, let's say, 2023 or so?
Maybe.
He's got a long way to come from 20th place as we're about to go back to green at some point.
I'm just here for the Valvoline livery. It's very Mark Martin.
Oh, it's a solid look. 90s Valvoline cars, just chef's kiss, undefeated. Yeah, he's driving one of these Alan Mertens designed Gallmer chassis that nobody really knows what to make of them because they're so new, but they probably think this car is not going to be fast in the 500. This is either going to be won by a Lola or a Penske chassis. It's not going to be won by some Gallmer, and it's not going to be won by a Chevrolet A-spec engine, the old spec engine. The B spec engine, which is ironic because there's a Chevy B engine that is newer, but unless you're Penske, you don't really have access to it at this point in time.
I think we're just about ready to go green again here. Yep, we are, and we are green. Cheever once again getting butt rushed from either side.
Brayton to his right, Michael to his left.
Michael
gets them both. God, he's dialed in, man.
But my man treats the apron as optional. Like, apron? Don't need that. Just drive over it.
Oh, yeah. Of course, it's a little bit different now, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway 92, because they haven't yet made all the changes they need to make this work for NASCAR.
Oh, yeah. Whoops.
That comes later. They probably don't know that yet. They just know that NASCAR is going to do a tire test at some point later this year, if they know that at all, and they think, oh, wow, this is exciting. Could you imagine NASCAR Winston Cup Series racing at Indianapolis Motor Speedway? Oh, Brain holding tough to second on Cheever.
Brayton, again, former pole position record holder here. We're just round the outside of Cheever while on the apron. And here comes Lyondike. He's coming through now into third.
I think it's safe to say that either Eddie Cheever's car is just not geared up on the restart, or these guys that are whizzing by him are just locked in.
Could be a bit of both. Who knows? Did Michael Andretti get a lap on the field is a line said, and it's not an exaggeration.
and especially in this day and age, like, again, no spec chassis, no leased engines. It is very, very much possible that if he keeps this up, it's still early on. It's still very early on. But Michael Andretti could be on the way to a very impressive and dominant victory here in this race.
Last lap, 220 miles an hour from Michael Andretti. Fast as all hell.
That's quick.
220 mph in 1992. And after all of this action, we are now a whopping 29 laps in. Back to commercial.
Battle for six now. Bobby Rahall's in it. Again, you talk about iconic designs of the 90s. The Miller genuine draft cars. It's not just Rahal. It's Rusty Wallace at this time in NASCAR, too. I mean, this isn't... It's not even an advertisement for Miller genuine draft here. I just like the way the car looks.
Other beers are available.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they are running ridiculously low. Like, they are running like less than a car width from the grass in 92. It's ridiculous. You just wouldn't get that in this era of racing. It's crazy. Great racing, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now, Chris has been helping out. Chris DeHardy, who wanted to be with us but could not make it due to technical concerns. He pointed out that I mentioned the story about the Gallmer chassis that Al Unser is running in this race. Well, they'd already decided that morning that they're not going to continue development of it, which lets you know how confident Alan Mertens and Rick Gallus were in that design. As you do.
JB points out in the chat, Gallmer tried to buy Brabham for 93.
Oh, yeah, because Brabham were in tough times. But they did give some 32-year-old Neville baby his first shot. And holy goodness, yeah, that's a risky pass there on Bettenhausen in the bright yellow Menards car.
You've actually got guys coming in for green flag pit stops for the first time.
Yep. See that blue and silver car? This car will become important later. Scott Goodyear is moving his way through the field in car number 15. It's a fresh 92 Lola chassis with a Chevy A engine. Pumping it full of fuel.
It's a pretty thing. Still giving push starts out of the box as well, which is another thing that's kind of wild for 92.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, hybrid technology? What the hell is that? We're still 5 years away from the Toyota Prius rolling off at Japanese showrooms.
We're powering these cars with electricity? What nonsense is that?
Yeah, that's what we used to do in like the late 1800s. Before we decided on combustion, 37 laps. Andretti, Cheever, Brayton, Lyondike, Fittipaldi, the top five. And now Michael Andretti has to deal with traffic, which is a bit easier because of the field spread in 1992. The guys lower down the order are way lower down the order than the guys down the order in the 2020s.
So you're telling me that Stingray Rob's not going to be the main character this time?
No, I'm pleased to report that Stingray Rob has not yet been conceived.
This is also true.
This is not to say that we're not happy that Stingray Rob is with us. We're just saying that we're happy that we can just take a break from him being the main character of this race.
Yes. That man's been a noted backmarker in like half the races in IndyCar this season. It's kind of wild.
We're still using leaded petrol in some pumps in 1992. Oh, don't remind us. Look at Al Unser Sr. Look at Al Unser Sr., who, again, was not supposed to be here. Oh, we got Michael's on.
Oh, yeah. Future F1 team disruptor.
Well, that's what he wants. He's been eyeing up a McLaren drive for some time. He wants to be like his dad and become a Formula One world champion.
Well, he's certainly got the ability and the potential to do it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is like peak Michael Andretti. He's still in his late 20s, which is not ancient in the motor racing world. He's just won the IndyCar Series title. He's having a rough time with reliability because these Ford Cosworth V8 engines are still kind of getting there, kind of taking shape. But right now, it's a rocket.
They're being really subtle by taking a video shot in front of the Texaco fuel tank.
Now copy those setup seats down and make sure you apply those to your next iRacing league race. We get the cold and the hot stagger in these cars.
It still looks like something you're meant to hit in a burnout-free crash zone.
Negotiating the lap traffic.
I love that I say that Michael Andretti doesn't use his radio when he's racing very often, which is kind of wild to me.
Yeah. I mean, that's still very much a thing in 1992.
Just shut up and let me drive. None of that borrow my tires malarkey now.
Oh, could you imagine them playing live in-car radio in 1992? That'd be so sick.
Ship to shore, baby.
Ship to shore. Fittipaldi is just mowing these dudes. He's trying to close in on Cheever, I think.
Looks like it.
This is the best quality upload of this race. It is still very fuzzy because you can only do so much with 1992 TV broadcasting tape as opposed to film.
We're enjoying that fine 72p. And we're still using pit boards.
We're still using pit boards in like the little divide between the pit lane and the track itself that has a grassy infill.
How can they see that when they're going at 230 miles an hour?
I think they're just guessing. Now, there's Jim Crawford in the other King Motorsports car, the one that actually did take the start. I mean, Jim Crawford was quick around the speedway for so long in these Buick-powered cars. But again, like Roberto Guerrero, just never lucky enough to finish most of the time. Here's a young Paul Tracy. He's still got his little glasses. He's still fresh out of what we used to call Indy Lights.
Yeah, Unser Jr. comes up a lot as a quiz answer. Can't imagine why. Here's Rick Mears.
92 Penske, top of the line Chevy B engine, 92 Penske chassis constructed by the side business. And the 4-time and defending champion driving this race with a small fracture in his wrist.
That would put a MotoGP rider out for a month.
For him, that just means it's a little bit tougher to get out of his car. Here's Michael's first stop. It's not going to be as quick as it is nowadays in 2025, but Newman Haas for 92 still has one of the best pit crews in the bunch.
We got a pit clock. 15 whole seconds.
Ooh, blistering.
15 seconds for a pit stop. Oh, man. IndyCar pit stops now in the modern age are about 40% of that.
You know what a 15.3 second pit stop will get you in the 2025 Indianapolis 500?
A fine?
Eliminated from contention.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this race is old, but Scott Brayton's car is sponsored by Northwest Airlines, which is now part of Delta.
I'm not up on my American Airlines, unfortunately. Literally and metaphorically.
We just have 3 good ones now. A really good cheap one, and don't fly Spirit.
Lovely.
Dave Sullivan comes in his Molson car. This is the other Galmer chassis, which again, as I mentioned, they're giving it up for next season. This is the 1 year they're trying to run it. There's Cheever, hoping he can finally get some good luck on a green flag restart one of these days.
Who needs restarts? They're for suckers.
Who needs a blend line in 92 in the pit lane? We're about a quarter of the way through.
No speed limit in the pits under green. My God.
Yeah, 1992 was different, Dre.
No shit.
I mean, we had 6-year-olds playing Mortal Kombat trying to figure out how to do that Sub-Zero spine rip. It's crazy. 51 laps down, Andretti, Cheever, Brayton, Lyondike, and Fittipaldi still pretty much as they run. Ray Hall, Unser Jr., Goodyear, Crawford, Tracy, the rest of the top 10 after a quarter of the race. Tracy's doing good for his first Indy 500, gotta say.
Say what you will about that old boy. He's got a bit of talent.
Yeah. And clearly Penske sees a lot of potential in him.
Well, I would too.
Mobil One sponsorship, pretty much an apprentice driver for the team. If and when Rick Mears, who at this stage is still full-time, it has to be pointed out, not quite ready to slow things down. Emerson Fittipaldi, who's still full-time despite being well into his 50s, almost in his 50s at this stage. In case one of them is ready to step away, Paul Tracy, he's the guy. He's like the David Malukas of 1992, except he actually drives for the flagship team.
Did you just call Paul Tracy the David Malukas of 90s IndyCar? That's a sentence.
Well, in this small window of time.
Also, blooming hell, like Linson James is 45 at this point, and she doesn't look out of place here.
Absolutely. I mean, I think the one thing is, and a lot of women did not start like, well, hold the phone. We got trouble. We got a car big time smoking in a pit lane. And I don't think that's just locking up the tires. Maybe it is.
It's Scott Pruitt.
That's Scott Pruitt in the One True Sports chassis. That's Bobby Rahall's old team.
Brought to you by Budweiser. Budweiser.
Still got the Red Roof Inn sponsor from late great Jim Truman's old business. That was his side hustle, running hotels. Actually, the hotels was the main hustle. The side hustle was the race team.
The missus in what can only be described as like a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader uniform.
Yeah, that's Michael Andretti's wife.
Oh, that's Michael's missus.
With her, with the cigar, is Carl Haas, the Haas of Newman Haas. It's not Gene Haas. He's not related to any of this nonsense. It
is a full white trench coat with gold stars painted on it. This was the peak of an early 90s fashion. Meanwhile, I think that's Brayton and Lyondike fighting for third now on track.
Once again, it's Lyondike's Ford power versus the pushrod V6 Buick in the back of Brayton's car. And as Cam always says, offline or on air, the Buick Indy engine will get you in the race. How many miles it'll complete? It's anyone's guess.
Pick a number between 1 and 500.
Yeah, we already saw for Eric Bachelard, that number is 4.
It's not a good number.
It's not a good number, but again, it's cheap too. So that's why your midfield and bottom of the order teams, the ones that only did this race, would tend to go with that engine. And through a quarter of the race, we're only going to have 4 cars in the lead. Holy Moses, somebody had the mother of all saves. That Michael getting almost into the wall, clipping through the wall out of turn 4.
That's the Alex Rossi special there, folks.
Alex Rossi, who at this time, still an infant.
Yep. God damn it. Now he's a dad. Lyondike's close, and he wants to move at the inside of 3, but just Brayton's able to take that
deeper line through the start of the corner. Leyendijk's way too shallow. Way too shallow. But he's going to try it anyway.
Oh, man.
This is like one of the handful of races he scheduled drive. Arie Leyendijk's not full-time. But if this is one of the few races you're going to run, if this is the only race you're going to run, might as well be this one.
Oh, yeah.
And he's really good at it.
Incredible pass. Turn 4, inside the line on the apron, and just uses his momentum to roll through. Incredible pass. Now Fittipaldi coming through as well. Around the outside into turn 3. Powered by those immaculate sideburns.
And those oranges. I wonder if those oranges will come up later as a plot point in a future episode of the Indianapolis 500. Who's to say?
I thought I told you to trim those sideburns.
I don't even think that episode of The Simpsons is out yet. But I got to tell you, in 92, The Simpsons is starting to cook.
Oh, absolutely.
And this brand new Fox television station is really starting to be on the cutting edge. They got married with children. They got cops before half of America decided that endorsing police activity is actually not so cool. But they wouldn't get anything crazy like the NFL, right?
No. Oh, that's a proper sport for proper TV channels.
Yeah, like CBS and NBC. Now, this is John Andretti, one of the 4 Andrettis in the race. He's not yet a full-time NASCAR guy. And this is the Jim Hall Racing Team. That name sounds familiar. It should. Jim Hall is also the guy that was famous for Chaparral Cars. This was his IndyCar racing team, the Pennzoil Special.
We're all racing a yellow submarine, Scott, look out for the wall!
Yes, there was once a time where the Pennzoil sponsorship did not belong to Penske. So after 50 laps, Michael Andretti led 39 of them. There were 2 cautions, 5 lead changes, 3 different leaders. 30 cars still running. I can tell you, that number is likely to dip as we go along.
Still have 30 cars in the race.
Whoa, somebody's blowing up. And that's another Buick. And Dre, this is another former winner going out. It's Gordon Johncock. 73 and 82 winner. Bumped his way into the field on the last day of time trials because back then there were 4 days of time trials. And now his race is over about a quarter of the way in.
That's brutal. Then this is back in the days when you had proper blowouts.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I mentioned it. The Buick engine. How many miles it'll get you through in the Indy 500 is anybody's guess, but when it goes spectacularly.
That was gone for over a mile, and it was nothing but smoke. Holy. That's a proper blowout.
Yep. Yellow flag is out.
And also, that is probably a poor man that was bullied at school as a child because of that surname.
23 Indianapolis 500 starts for Gordon Johncock. This one a long shot. After 62 laps, Michael Andretti is still in control, but now the caution is out, so now his lead has been cut down drastically.
Still barely a further away in.
Michael Andretti. I know it's like 240p television, but even I could tell. Michael Andretti almost pancakes himself out of the 500.
Yeah, very nearly hits the outside wall on turn 4 there. And he's a passenger if he gets much closer to that.
Oh, yeah. Anderson and the Ganassi bots trying to figure out what to do with his 2 drivers who are still running up well at the front. Now, one of John Andretti's crew members got hit at some point. He needs medical help. He's going to be fine, thankfully.
That sounds awful. Good to know we are still running over members of pit crews 33 years later. Kiffin.
See, it's a time-honored tradition.
Somebody gonna get the wig split.
We're ready to get the green flag. And guess who? Michael Andretti, wasting no time, getting his ass to the front.
Yep. Michael out here doing work. My man is gone again.
Oh, no. Oh, my goodness.
That car is
That is a big crash.
44.
That's the 44. That's Philippe Gash again. He spun during the pace laps, and he's had a big one out of in between 1 and 2.
That car is junk.
That is a hard hit.
It was already a hard hit, and then he got hit again as he was slowing down. Clipped somebody else.
The other car that came on the scene was the 91 of Stan Fotz, which is the other Hemmelgarn Racing Lola Buick, which means Fox has crashed and Gordon Johncock is blown up. And for Hemmelgarn Racing, their Indy 500 is pretty much done.
Yeah.
Wasting no time getting the stretcher out just in case Philippe Gash needed, because I mean, that was hard. The first hit was hard enough. There's Stan Fotz getting out of the car. Stan Fotz very much a throwback, because this is still the days where it's rare, but you still had guys who specialized on racing sprint cars on dirt and could still do the 500, and Stan Fotz was one of those guys. This was his only IndyCar race he did every year, generally very quick at it. But here,
you're telling me that this was low-key Kyle Larson without the off-track activities?
Or the fame and popularity. I mean, that is a brutal hit. And again, we can thankfully say they both go on to race another day. Fox just cannot react in time.
Yeah, my man got can opened. That is a horrible crash. Yeah, just spins out through turn 2. He's a passenger into the outside wall. And then as he's coming back inside, Fox goes straight into the side of him.
I think it's safe to say that this IndyCar thing does not work out for Philippe Gash in the long run, but does have a pretty productive career racing Vipers and GTs. His team's even in the Le Mans 24 Hours game, which is not a bad way of living. And Stan Fotz would continue to come back and do this race, but he has another big accident in 95, a lot worse, and that ends his career after the 95 Indianapolis 500. Now, here's Philippe Gash getting stretched off, but thankfully, he'll be released from the medical center by the end of the year, which is good.
As JP points out in that chat as well, Philippe Gashman went on to have a good career racing Vipers in GTs. That's a good way to go.
Yeah, it ain't bad. I did also mention that. Hey, look. This is not going to be the first moment of active listening on Motorsport 101, and certainly not going to be the last.
No, absolutely not. It's very us.
There's Scott Pruitt. His day is done. It's crazy to think that Scott Pruitt's best years in IndyCar are still yet to come. On top of the rest of one of the most accomplished American sports car racing careers ever, all after he turns 35, 40 years old. We don't talk about that 1 year that he tried to race in the NASCAR Cup Series. It was a learning experience, let's say.
It's like Antonio Di Natale in football, was a late bloomer, comes around in his mid-30s and then gains some respect late on in his career. Well, you say late on, but back then you did drive into your 40s and 50s. It was a lot more common.
He also broke his leg pretty badly in a testing crash a couple of years prior to this. So him being back in the car at all is kind of astonishing that he goes on to have another, 2 decades of this.
That's crazy.
Well, Jack Root's telling us that Michael Andretti's radio woes seem to be solved.
I still thought it was crazy they were talking about a suite where they had the radio button working or not.
Water line caused an engine failure for Pruitt.
We got 70 laps down, by the way.
Yeah.
St. James in the pits.
Yep. And this does it. It's a pit stop with some urgency. I think for her, the best thing here is to just try and get as much of the race finish as she can and just use that learning experience, because it seems like she wants to be back to keep doing this in 1992. This is not just going to be a one and done deal. Like Janet Guthrie was not a one and done deal. She kept going on the race.
Sublime. She just hung out with the boys and it became a racing career. I love it. What a badass.
She's a class winner at the Rolex 24 at Daytona in the GTO class.
It's kind of wild as well, and I mean this in a positive light. St. James is in this race, and it just feels normal.
Yeah. And she'd be in this race for many more years to come. Her last start is in 2000. She's 53 years young. Plus, because of her involvement in Women in Motorsport North America, I get to see her around the track on a semi-regular basis. Oh, I pulled up her teammates from that Rolex 24 victory. Well, aforementioned Scott Pruitt, Bill Elliott of NASCAR fame, not bad company to have, all things considered. And in the other car, another influential woman in motorsport, another very successful woman. And when I say this woman's name, you always think of safe, measured driving with no casualties.
And who's that, RJ?
Caitlyn Jenner.
No comment.
Let's get to the Indy 500 track facts. Oh, this is the Kevin Cogan crash.
Oh, man.
He pops right out of this thing. Here's the Mark Dismore crash from last year's practice. Yeah, Dismore gets banged up pretty bad at this, but there's the reason why they have the attenuator at the start of pit lane. And also Dismore does make an attempt to make this race in 92, sadly. Just could never get a run going, but it does eventually make the race in 96. Yeah, you would want to hit that rather than just like the solid abutment of a aluminium guardrail.
Yeah, I'm not here for concrete, please and thank you.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing as well. We're a decade away from safer barrier being implemented at 500. So if anybody hits those concrete walls, that's concrete, baby. As I mentioned, driver's feet are still not mandated to be behind the center line of the front wheels. That's why you saw a number of bad lower body injuries in practice. Mentioned Nelson Piquet. He spends a year in rehabilitation for his broken legs. Hiro Matsushita broke his legs in practice not long after that. That's why Raul Boesel is in the Sega car. Yes, there was a Sega-sponsored car in this race. Glad you asked.
A lot of leg injuries, though.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of broken legs, a lot of broken ankles. Not ideal.
It's not ideal. And of course, the worst was still yet to come in practice, because before the second weekend of time trials, Jovi Marcello was trying to become the first Filipino driver to start the race, crashes in turn 1, and we lost him at the age of 27. And we still have not had another driver from the Philippines make this race since. Hopefully one day we see it. Green flag is back out, and that's Michael streaking up to the front by like 20 car lengths, man. This is unfair.
Yeah. Michael is gone again. Pulls out that restart, and he's immediately gone.
Oh, no! We got cars crashing, but we don't know who it is. Oh, that's one of the Penske's.
That's one of the Penske's. It's Emerson Fittipaldi. Not the side. I thought I told you to trim those sideburns.
Oh, brother. Emerson Fittipaldi, the 89 winner, is out.
And he's being put out by the Silver Surfer.
Now, surely that's bad for Penske.
That's brutal. He was running top 5.
Yeah, rocket all day, but at least it's just one Penske car, right? They still got 3 more bullets. They brought 3 bullets. Hang on a minute. Why are we seeing a replay of Rick Mears? Does he get around this? Oh no, he doesn't! Mears gets swept on this. The other car is Ted Prappis, who was the last car to bump himself into the race. Oh, that's Crawford that he had spun into. Crawford's involved in this. Prappis in it. And the 2 alpha dogs at Penske are out of the race.
Penske, not for the first time we talked about him this year, has hit the self-destruct button.
Yeah, there's one more parallel that this race has to 2025.
Penske having a bad day at the Speedway.
Yeah.
Can't imagine.
Yeah. The official trackside report from the media, play-by-play, Crawford spins, Prappis goes low, Rick Mears gets involved, Fittipaldi gets involved after the initial contact, and Roger Penske is happy with none of this. Can you blame him? He's just seen 5 Indianapolis 500 wins crash out of the race.
Yep.
So now it's all down to little baby Paul Tracy.
Is Paul Tracy now representing Penske feels like Anakin Skywalker at the end of episode 1. We're going to be watching your career with great interest.
Fittipaldi crashes independently of this.
I think that's Mears on a stretcher.
Yeah. And remember, Mears had the banged up wrist.
There's Roger, only in his 50s. But we still see PPG as a sponsor now in NASCAR, 30 plus years later.
Yeah. Of course, they were the title sponsor of the IndyCar World Series. Fittipaldi's taken a bit of time to get out gingerly. Again, this has been a brutal 500. Mentioned some of the worst injuries in practice, time trials. We had a couple of big ones here. Again, Fittipaldi, he'll go on to race another day and win another Indianapolis 500 in fashion that is not at all controversial in its aftermath whatsoever.
No. Man was not here for the milk.
Now, what they don't tell you is that he eventually agreed to drink milk off camera, but don't tell him none of that.
That's not as fun a story, RJ.
Of course. I also wouldn't poke too much fun at some folks in Indiana. They're still, for basketball-related reasons, having a tough time with things. I got to tell you, the Hannah Emergency Medical Center at IMS seen a lot of action. Oh, there's the Cadillac Alante pace car.
Well,
The time.
one of the doctors that looked like April O'Neil out of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Full-on yellow jumpsuit.
There's Philippe Gash. He's okay.
Who's already losing the battle against his hairline quite badly.
Oh, man.
Come home, Philippe. Come home. It's time to come home there, buddy.
Look, all I'm saying is Simon and Roman never had those problems in their peak.
No, definitely not. It's no Helio.
That's still a big hit. I am amazed that both him and Stan Foss are relatively unscathed after all this. We got that guy in the old Miss hat popping around, just being like, I can't tell whether these people are like staff or like team PR or just like fans trying to like get themselves on camera.
Or journalists. I don't even know anymore. Man in suit and tie with a headset on in the background there as well.
Yeah.
Like you're fully suited and booted. Like, for what? For who?
We got another shot of Ray Room because this is the 76th Indianapolis 500. This is the 75th anniversary.
Look at the size of that car.
Oh, yeah. And this is back in the days where you had two people. You had riding mechanics. It was more like a rally race on a closed circuit. Now we get to the Roadster era. Fun fact, AJ Foyt, the most experienced driver in this race, is the only driver that ever won in a Roadster with a front engine layout. You can tell he's been at the game for a while.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, back in the 90s, they did love a good crash montage, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. And back then, like, safety was not as tantamount. But we'd get there eventually.
They added a wing.
Oh, yeah, this is the dark arts of, like, race car design and technologies.
Jesus. Oh. They love these horrendous crashes, man.
Look, what can I say? This was not a broadcast tactic that was invented by NBC in the late 2010s. Here's our second look at the Kevin Cogan eat shit coming out of turn 4 crash.
Yep. Car upside down, engine perfectly disassembled.
Oh, they didn't quite show it. There's Jim Crawford literally popping up vertically.
He took flight.
Yeah.
He literally flew for 100 feet.
And there's why Rick Mears had the banged up wrist going into this race. This was the first week of practice.
That's huge.
He shook that off. He qualified reasonably quick, but now he's not in the race. Emerson Fittipaldi's not in the race. And Team Penske's going to win. It's all down on Paul Tracy now. This is Dominic Dobson, one of our regular backmarkers in this race. No. He did participate a lot in this race, but I think there's also a reason why I believe he made one of the list of the least good Indy 500 regulars of all time.
Crewman's had his foot run over, poor guy.
Yeah.
We call it now the Michelle Gattin injury.
Oh, that looks rough. I gotta say, ABC's showing these feet for free.
Feet for free on Maine.
Look, we weren't freaks in 1992, man. This was still taboo.
How do you think I got here?
Michael Andretti's been like putting belt to ass all race, man.
Yep. He's laying the pipe.
Of course, this is back in time where Mario's near the sunset of his career. He always wanted a second win. He technically had it for a few months, and then, look, 1981 Indy 500 is a whole different story in this race.
It's a messy one.
Yeah, but Mario has never won that second one, and Michael is still waiting for his first. I think we're right at the point where the Andretti curse, if it's not already a thing, is starting to become one. And if Michael Andretti has ambitions of racing in Formula One, he'd really like to get one of these to match his IndyCar Series title from last year.
Sure. Good luck with that. We're green. And there goes Michael again. Oh, no.
Oh, no. We got a crash coming to the start.
Who's that in the background? It's Mario Andretti.
It's Mario.
No,
we were just talking about him. Mario crashes.
You've got to be kidding.
It's a cold day. It's windy. There's no grip. Cars are crashing left and right, and Mario Andretti is out of the Indy 500. We're going to see how it happens. Coming to 3. He's down on the apron. I think he's got to check up here.
Puts his foot down.
Going into
4.
Oh, and it just swaps ends on him. Oh, and that's head on.
Ow. He just loses it on the apron. Loses the front and just spins out, putting his foot down on cold tires.
Just like Roberto Guerrero on the pace laps. But some people cynically could chalk that up to, Roberto Guerrero's washed up, and he was never that good at the beginning. That's Mario Andretti having that problem, man.
American racing royalty.
Yeah. For a guy that's born in what we now call Croatia. Long story. I will say that Mario Andretti does hurt his toes. He does have to miss the next race, but of course, comes back to run most of the 92 season and would go out on top in 1994 and then do a handful of Le Mans 24 hours after that. And then try to and then he'd get back in the Indy 500 for a test run in 2003, get on the gas immediately like he never stopped racing, and flipped over end and pretty much walked it off like it was no big deal. That's Mario for you.
They make him tough when they come over here.
They're going to give us the... Oh, yeah, and this is pre-head restraint, too, so his head
moved around a whole lot. It's weird seeing someone's head move around that much in a crash, because we've been so used to the hands device for the last 25 years.
Yeah, that's not really a thing until 5 years, and even when they started mandating it, drivers were not happy they had to wear that thing, because if you've seen a first-gen Hans device, it's heavy, it's bulky, it's fucking uncomfortable. But we improved.
It'll catch on.
84 out of 200 laps are done, and so is Mario Andretti, and he's likely taking that ride in the ambulance over to the nearby hospital.
Ouch.
For a quick checkup. Here's Bobby Rahal in 4th.
Mistakenly corrected for a sports advertisement for a second there.
Oh, Dre. Did you like NFL Europe?
Can't say I particularly did.
Well, in 1992, we didn't have the NFL Europe. We had the World League of Football. And I think that's what they were trying to advertise. But here's the thing. It wasn't just European-based clubs. We had a few American teams in the midst, too.
And the NFL still has the cheek to call themselves world champions.
They play a few games at a time. It's fine.
Full interview with Bobby Rahal on screen now.
And these are the results that tell you why he's leading the IndyCar standings. He finished third in Surfer's Paradise. He won at Phoenix. Remember when we used to go to Phoenix, which was suited for high-speed, open-wheel cars? And he finished second at Long Beach.
Big fan of Long Beach in proper cars.
There is Scott Goodyear coming out of the pits. There's Al Unser Sr., Big Al, getting out of this one. And I'll tell you, if you told me that at the start of 500 practice that he had no prospect of running this race, I couldn't believe you because he's done all right so far.
And they're now literally lifting Mario's dead car back via his onboard camera. It's a bit jarring.
Oh, my goodness, yeah. I can imagine there is a track worker in a yellow outfit telling all the people that want to get a piece of it, like, get back, stand back of the car, watch where you're going, get the fuck back.
Everybody coming
into
the
pit.
pit.
Insane pit entry, by the way, because they're weaving at speed around like the course cars.
It's like the Nürburgring 24 now, where if there's a recovery car on track, you just drive around him at full racing speed. Like, that's normal.
Michael Andretti now having to carry the banner, a lot of the banner for his family. Of course, John and Jeff are still in this race. But he's also the last Newman Haas car left. They only had 2 cars. This is back before the days where he had, like, I mean, Penske being a 3-car super team and Dick Simon having, like, spare change to run 4 or 5 cars, like, that's abnormal in 1992.
Also, we've had a run through the pits, and Michael Andretti's lost the lead. Eddie Cheever now back in front.
Oh boy, I wonder if he gets to keep it on this restart.
That's adorable. Also, yes, there was a pit lane speed limit under yellow. It was 100 miles an hour. Normal. Watching Eddie Cheever, who's, and again, like I said, as was mentioned, is now in taking the lead off that latest round of pit stops.
Mm-hmm. Something that hasn't changed, it seems, Ganassi gaining track position through quick pit work. I need to point out that this team is like 3 years old.
Slick operation, unlike the Andretti pit crew.
Yeah.
Oh, Leo, I remember you from Slapshoes videos about how the Goodyear Who's a Tire War happened.
Yeah. Now, of course, there is no tire war here in the IndyCar series in 1992. There's only one brand. Can you guess which one it is? I'll give you a hint. You've got a famous blimp.
Oh, could it be Goodyear by any chance?
Who's to say? Firestone doesn't show up until 1995. And it takes a little bit of time, but eventually they just eat Goodyear's entire. They don't just eat their lunch. They eat their dinner. They eat their dessert. They eat the next day's breakfast, and then they eat tomorrow's lunch.
You know, once upon a time when we nearly had Continental tires in IndyCar.
Crazy to think.
It's crazy talk, I know.
Michael Andretti is he's wheeling it. See Dominic Dobson, he's back in the race. He's at least a lap or 2 down at this point. It's a clean looking car now. Gotta watch these restarts though.
We're almost ready for another one.
Unser Jr.'s making his way through the pack. Hang on a minute. That blue and white car, that's Paul Tracy. Why is he getting gap before we're getting to turn 4?
We're green.
But we're going green.
They're cut away from the leader on the restart, which is great camera work, even for 92.
You just want to get that whole shot encapsulating the entire field.
This is before the days of the laps car wave around, so everybody's a bit jumbled up at the minute.
Yeah. Yeah, like Michael is in like a wad of traffic here. He's behind Lyondike. He's got to get through Lyondike to get to Cheever.
As you do.
We start to see like visions of what Ganassi will become.
I'm just glad we've got one green flag lap of running.
Yeah.
I've had that in nearly half an hour.
I don't mean to sound like I'm all clouds, but God, these cars look so good. I understand why this was the inspiration for the Universal Aero Kit 2018. I get it.
They are sleek. They are very aesthetically pleasing to watch on track.
So simple. Well, there's Bill Mears, Rick's dad. Down his son. His feet are banged up, but otherwise going to be okay. Of course, we wouldn't know it at the time, Dre. This is Rick Mears' last Indy 500. Because of the injuries, he's got to scale back a bit in 92. Paul Tracy takes over some of that workload in Mears' car. But when Mears retires in December of 1992, it genuinely comes as a surprise. He's not the oldest guy in the IndyCar series. That's a huge surprise.
Bam. No, that makes sense. Probably just a bit too dinged up from all the injuries over the years.
It opens the door for Paul Tracy to take over that seat full-time with Mears still working at Penske, being his guiding light, his force. Tracy has a couple good years at Penske. He leaves, comes back. He says some things about the Penske operation that immediately get him shit-canned. And then begins the worst couple of years of Team Penske's American open wheel racing existence.
It's barely been mentioned on the podcast previously.
Not lately, and it may be mentioned more as the season progresses. And at this stage, the Fords are just... Ford and Cosworth really brought their A game in 92, the 500, it seems.
Whoa!
Oh, that's a big buff of smoke coming out of Scott Brayton's car.
Brayton's car.
Oh, it's another Buick engine.
I can't believe it.
I'm sure people can believe it, but that's still a surprise because that's the fastest Buick car in the race with Guerrero out. Oh, man.
I think the key word here is was.
Dick Simon, the car owner, has got like 4 cars in this race. It's Boiselle, it's him, it's Lynn St. James' car. I forgot. Yeah, Scott Brayton does not have a good finishing record, although it's not all his fault.
They said is 8 DNF in 11 500 attempts.
Yeah, if that happened now, you think this guy he can't keep the car out of the wall. As it turns out, no, he spent most of his career with Buick engine that love to go pop, pop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. Again, if you're a midfield team owner, that's the cheapest engine you can get.
And it shows.
Horsepower per dollar, man. That's the thing.
It's efficient, but it's also efficient in detonating itself. So we've gone green again after the commercial break, and guess who's in the front again?
All I'm saying is we're getting close to halfway. If we're not there already. Oh, no!
Oh, Tracy's out!
Paul Tracy's out and it looks like somebody else has hit the wall. Oh my God. That's rookie Jimmy Vasser.
Jimmy Vasser. Wow, that's a name.
That is a name you've heard recently as a future IndyCar Series champion, but in 92, he just had to bump his way back in to get in the race as the fastest rookie and start on the 10th row. He's had a hard hit in the right side. And we're back under caution.
I cursed it. I didn't know that we were going to have more blowouts after like 3 whole green flag laps.
And I mean, we got a lot going on. Scott Brayton basically telling us what happened with his car. So he's saying that the engine needs temperature in it to run like steadily. With all the fluctuations,
51 degrees out there, they're struggling to keep the motors running.
Yeah.
Brutal.
It's been a tough race, and I mean, we saw it. Paul Tracy out of the race. You see Scott Brayton's stats on the screen. $1 million in career earnings at the 500 is not a bad living. 6th place in 89 is not bad, but like,
it's not bad for a guy that's had his car basically detonate half the time.
Yeah, more than half the time in some instance. And again, I mentioned Scott Brayton is one of those guys who's always quick at the 500, even if this was like the only race he was good at. And he was that way for a lot of the early 90s, going in the mid-90s, wins back-to-back poles in 95 and 96. But tragically, as we all know, he never got to sit on the pole in 1996 when the race got going, because he was already gone.
Horribly tragic. It was a bad time for North American motorsport as it was, and then we lost Scott Brayton.
Yeah. Dr. Henry Bach, I can imagine, is having a very busy month. Like, it's kind of busy as is. We know the risk that comes with this race, but like, man.
Oh. They're running through the injuries. Mario Andretti's broken his feet. Emerson Fittipaldi had, and I quote, a puncture to the knee.
Yeah, puncture on the left knee. Rick Mears cut his left knee. Crawford hurt his left foot. Steve is X-rays are negative, which is nice.
And if anybody in the chat makes a Skyrim joke, they will be shot.
What's Skyrim?
No idea.
I don't even think anybody knows. Is Elder Scrolls Arena even out yet? Is OG Elder Scrolls even out?
No chance.
I think it's safe to say all 3 Penske cars have either blown up or crashed out before we even get to halfway. This has to be, and there will be worse days for Penske to come at the Indianapolis 500. Oh, there's Vasser crashing in turn 1. That is a tough hit.
Outside of turn 2, straight in. It's very similar crash to Gachet. Just spins out straight into the outside wall of turn 2.
And they're very hard hit. Yeah. And they're being careful with Vasser as they're trying to get him out of the car because, as we'll later learn, he breaks a bone in his right thigh.
Ow.
And he has to sit out a couple of races. But it all turns out well in the end for Jimmy Vasser because eventually he does get the call from Chip Ganassi. Just as they're about to become the Chip Ganassi racing that we know and love. He wins the 96 IndyCar Series title. He wins the US 500 that year after Rats inadvertently causing the big crash at the start we all remember from that race. He goes on to have a pretty solid career, all things concerned, but in 92, he's learned about this race the hard way. Here's Rick Gals. The guy that's so confident in his bespoke chassis that he's cutting it at the end of this year, no matter what.
Yeah. We've completed its main objective. We don't need it anymore.
But you haven't even finished like a quarter of the season.
Yep, we've completed its objective.
The 500's still going.
Completed its objective.
There's John Paul Jr. We saw him stall at the start. I mean, John Paul Jr., rough time of things. I mean, just in general, like that man did time in prison because he was one of the many figures in the International Marijuana Smugglers Association, though not as bad as his pops.
My man tried to smuggle the wacky backy. Such a smart man right there. As you can imagine, 2025 Dre has no problem with this.
So look at the driver's hours race. Guerrero didn't start. Bachelor blew up. Seva crashed. Pruitt blew up. John Crawford. Gash and Fox crashed. Mears, Crawford, and Fittipaldi all crashed. That's 10. Turn over to next page. Andretti crashed. Brayton blew up. Tracy blew up. Vassar crashed. That's 14 out of the 33 starters.
So I was going to say, we are down to 19 already. And we're barely halfway.
We're 2 years away from the Elder Scrolls Arena coming out. But I'll tell you what, Street Fighter 2 is still eating tokens in American arcades, baby.
Tiger uppercut.
Who's your Street Fighter 2 main?
Oh, God, I was a Ken main.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Oh, yeah. Shinryu-ken.
Oh, it gets bad because, like, if your first experience to Street Fighter is like Street Fighter 3 Third Strike and you pick up Ken, like, everybody accuses you of just being an upper tier bandwagoner.
Yeah, pretty much. Ken, you slut.
God, what else was in arcades in 19... Daytona USA was in arcades in 1992.
Let's go away. What a game. What a game. Also, over in the chat, Evan says, Dre making a Sagat reference a day after the Sagat Street Fighter 6 trailer dropped. It did, didn't it? Yeah.
No, I was actually thinking of a different Sega arcade racing game, Virtual Racing, that came out in 92. Daytona USA is still a little bit of time away, but we are so ready for it whenever it comes out.
We are green.
We've seen this image of Dwayne Sweeney. Oh, no! What the hell, man?
Somebody else at the back, in the wall at the outside of turn 4. We are under caution again. Who is that back there?
The 9th caution flag.
We are barely halfway. We've had 9 cautions. Who is that back there?
That is Brian Bonner making his very first Indianapolis 500 start, sponsored by Applebee's.
He took the car to Crashlebee's.
This is the second Dale Coyne car in the race. And that is the second Dale Coyne car exiting the race.
Oh dear. So Dale Coyne's day is done.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a huge crash. The ones that are losing it on the outside of these corners are going straight into the outside wall hard as shit.
Oh.
Rips the engine cover clean off the back of that thing. His day is done.
Yeah. Brian Bonner doesn't have much of an IndyCar career when it's all said and done, but he's still involved in the racing business at some point. Look at this split. 51 laps under green, 51 under yellow.
I'm gonna say we're halfway in. 50% of the race has been under yellow. I was about to do an over-under question, but I'm not this time, says Kira. Says Xfinity could never have this many cautions.
What is Xfinity? I'm only familiar with the NASCAR Busch Grand National Series. But
oh, don't worry. They'll be getting whacked soon enough.
All you need is just to survive these restarts and you're golden. Brian Bonner is getting stretched off. Thankfully, it's minor injuries to each of his legs. He goes on to race another day. Dre, I think most importantly, out of all this, Michael Andretti has won the Gillette Halfway Challenge.
Yeah!
Which means a fan that picked him is about to get hand-delivered a brand new Chevrolet Corvette.
Do we get to call it Snowball?
All I'm saying is, Cam Buckley better be ready to deliver it to that customer from 33 years ago.
It needs to be a ZR1, and I will accept no substitutes.
No, man, give it the Grand Sports stripes. I know that trim's like 4 years out, but do it anyway.
Baby blue with a big-ass white stripe over the middle of it. Like, the stripe's going to be 2 feet wide.
Look at that state-of-the-art medical technology they have of like a fucking units-ass operating system for the medical records.
That looks like any doctor's office you've ever seen, RJ.
Oh, yeah, especially in the 90s.
The only thing missing is a poster telling you how to brush your teeth properly. They showed off the medical facilities in a yellow flag segment right now, and it's like, look, it's a stretcher.
We got all the medical beds. I wonder what those conversations are like. You just have multiples of these dudes that are just like get wheeled in. Hey, you son of a bitch! What the hell? You came down on me at 4.
It's like that time former UFC fighter Nick Diaz once got into another fight with his opponent in a hospital bed. It's very 90s WWE.
Yeah, we got the medical helicopter, which takes you straight to Methodist Hospital, which is not a helicopter ride you want to take during the Indianapolis 500. Let's just
sadly, they're a bit busy today.
I think it was Chris who has often mentioned to me a local like bit of dark humor where people used to say, well, you know how bad the accident is depending on which direction the ambulance turns at this juncture. If it goes one way, it's going to Methodist Hospital and they're generally okay. If it goes the other way, it's going straight to the morgue.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah, I tell you, those people from Indiana are weird.
I was not prepared for that one.
Where's the snake pit? They're showing this panoramic shot of the infield, but there's no snake pit. What the hell, man?
I need Shaquille O'Neal doing a set in the middle of that grass.
Yo, that's rookie Shaquille O'Neal in 1992, man.
Oh, that boy's a freak. He's like Wemby, only 33 years ago, and thick, thicker than a bowl of oatmeal.
Look, in 1991, 92, like, Michael Jordan is still in the league just cooking people. Shaq is entering the league, man. We got so many, like, powerful stuff. We got Hakeem Olajuwon, man. We got David Robinson. We got Patrick Ewing on the Knicks who are good.
What a time to be alive.
We got Brad Doherty, who's not yet a former NASCAR team owner.
Well, what happened here on the commercial? This is Ari Lion's car. We got a teleprompter in 92.
All right, so we got the telestrator. We're circling the fueler. Oh, he's about to go for a ride, isn't he? Oh, he is. He's about to go ass over tea kettle. Ow.
Oh, oh.
Oh, yeah, and the best part about basketball in 92, Trey?
What's that?
USA is sending all of its best pros to the Olympic Games. Oh, Barcelona is going to be so much fun, man.
Are they taking world-class point guard and two-time NBA champion Isaiah Thomas?
Who needs him, man? We can just put this college kid from Duke on. We don't even know if he's going to be good in the league or not. And it's okay because the team is so deep. They got MJ. They won't lose. They don't.
I'm just saying Isaiah Thomas met the criteria to be part of that team.
He tells us this all the time.
Look, we got pages being shown on the hard cap. Pages!
Dog. I mean, you got Charles Barkley just got to Phoenix.
Yes, after pretending to be overweight to get out of Philadelphia.
Scottie Pippen is still the best second option in the NBA. Green flags out.
We're green. Again. We are down to 18 runners here.
And we got a safe restart after all of it.
Thank goodness. Caution is breeding far too many caution babies for my taste. 3 wide down the back straight.
This is Unser Jr. I have to clarify because there are 2 Unsers. We never got 3.
Yeah, Michael back in the lead again.
Unser's falling close. And up ahead of them is Al Sr. just at the tail end of the lead lap, which I got to say is still very impressive for a guy that was just called up because somebody else got hurt.
Oh, yeah.
But of course, it's not the first time because back in 87, Al Unser was not expecting to race the Indy 500. Danny Ongais recently signed at Penske, suffers a bad knock on the head. He's not clear to race. They call up Al Unser. He wins his 4th.
A totally normal sequence of events.
Yeah. At that time, he is the oldest Indianapolis 500 winner ever.
We don't talk about Takuma Sato here.
He came so close this year, man.
We got a better race in here, folks. Midfield's looking lively.
Cheever and Lyandak. Remember, these are teammates, but they're racing each other pretty close by 92 standards.
Yep, using all that apron again.
I was just thinking about how they're like about to touch wheels going into 3.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing that.
No, not in this era, but 4-wheel covers? Oh, hell no.
Absolutely not. Okay, Cheever and Line like running mad close right now. There's John Andretti.
That is actually Garrett Bettenhausen in one of the other dark stars. Yeah.
Shade of bit of red on that yellow.
Unser's car has got the splash of blue on it. There's Ray Hall diving down in the pits.
Yeah, Ray Hall coming in.
Bobby Ray Hall, of course, I think his son, Graham, is like 3.
He won't amount to much, don't worry.
I mean, does he even want to drive go-karts?
I don't know.
Oh, Ray Hall picked up a flat tire. Oh, man. Well, Bobby Ray Hall has this weird record, right, where it's like on even-numbered years, he does okay. On odd-numbered years, it doesn't go good. That doesn't bode well for him for 1993, but surely he'll make the race. No, there's no question about it.
I see.
Oh, Michael Andretti's streaking away to the front of the field again.
No!
That is Jeff Andretti. Just as we mentioned, Michael, Jeff has hit the wall coming out of 2. Oh, and Bettenhausen's in it too.
Oh.
Jeff Andretti, last year's 500 Rookie of the Year, has crashed hard. Gary Bettenhausen swept in it. Jeff Andretti's trying to get out of the car.
There's a loose tire.
Gary Bettenhausen has failed to finish 15 of these. And again, much like Scott Brayton, it's not all down to the driver, man.
This sucks. So, at this point, we've now lost half the field.
Yeah, we have now lost half the field. Now, Bettenhausen's taken a bit of time because Gary Bettenhausen lore, he had one of his arms crushed in a sprint car accident like 20 years before this. I say that to remind you that he's still racing at this level. The wheel just comes off of Jeff's car and
what the fuck?
That's an ugly head-on hit.
Yeah, the wheel just straight up comes off.
That's what happened to Ram Rahal in 21.
Yeah, just loses a damn tire.
Oh, the right rear falls off. I don't need that. There's no good place to have that mid-corner. Just about the worst time.
Yeah, that's about as bad as it gets. And yeah, at that point, Jeff's a passenger. That's horrendous.
That's a bad one. Jeff, a bit of irony that he's driving for AJ Foyt because last season, I mentioned it earlier, AJ Foyt was going to retire. Nazareth was going to be his last race. AJ Foyt chewed out Jeff Andretti for driving like an idiot. And now here he is a year later, and they're obviously being careful with him because he might have really badly hurt his legs and feet.
Jeez, man.
I will tell you, Jeff Andretti will come back to race the 1993 Indianapolis 500.
Good to hear.
Though this does become the defining accident that kind of limits what Jeff Andretti's potential can be. I mean, obviously, it's a pretty bad hit. He hurts his leg something fierce, but he does recuperate, he does recover, he does rehabilitate, and he does eventually come back.
Oof.
He had broken bones in both lower legs, ankles, and feet, and a concussion.
Ouch.
And considering that's about the same angle that PK hit in practice for this event, he's very lucky that that's all he walked away with.
Yeah.
Of course, because it's 1992, we don't know any better. We're getting multiple replays of it.
Yeah, just shuffle that around on the loop for the next 5 minutes. Very daunting.
Get us the reverse angle of it. Oh, and Bettenhausen, I bet you he's trying to react to it, and as he does, he just loses control of the car.
Not ideal.
Half of the Andretti clan is out of the race.
Is that good?
All I'm saying is that puts even more pressure on Michael to try and win this one.
No kidding. Man's in trouble out. Man's on his own out there now.
So now they're showing what happened to Nelson Piquet. This was supposed to be a big deal because Piquet, 3 Formula One World Championships, just retired from F1, gonna run this race for the first time. And I'll tell you, first week of practice, he was fast. He's really fast. He's in the car that Al Unser Sr. is driving, man. So then we get to Friday before the start of time trials, and then it all goes pear-shaped.
Oh, man.
I mean, he's happy. Like, he's excited to get to do this for the first time, man. I think we're going to take a lot.
Oh, that's tough, as they say.
Like, I think at this stage, they're still like looking after him because like he breaks his legs bad. There is a still shot of the crash that is just like, how does he survive? Of course, they're going to show it for illustrative fact. It's a head-on hit in a 4.
That's horrendous. That's front nose, head onto the wall at better part of 200 miles an hour.
And I think in the immediate aftermath, they're talking about just like, forget Nelson Piquet trying this again in 93. Is he just going to have like a normal ass life without walking without assistance? Like, look, again, I said it. Nelson Piquet has gone on to say some really wild and regrettable shit. That does not mean that I enjoy seeing somebody take a hit like that in a race car.
No, thank you. Never. I don't wish that on anybody. That's awful.
Jeff Andretti getting stretchered off, and understandably so. Like, that's a very ugly hit. But again, I need to say it. Everybody involved in these wrecks goes on to race another day. That day may be the month after this race. Day may be the year after this race. That day may be the following week at Detroit. Yes, that's still a thing in 1992.
Traditions.
Sometimes it was Detroit, sometimes it was Milwaukee. This year it was definitely Detroit. And it was actually the week after. Sorry, it's 2 weeks after 500.
Yeah.
Milwaukee's at the end of June. Cleveland's in August.
Raptor says in the chat, I knew about this from Chris. If you want a fun fact to distract you, apparently the president of Brazil himself called the doctor assigned to PK in order to ensure he was being taken care of properly.
Yeah, it's a big deal. Fittipaldi's already there. They're thinking, wow, we get Fittipaldi and PK to match up against each other in the 500. Oh, this is going to do big numbers for us, and it just doesn't happen. Of course, Senna only gets the one-off private test with Penske in 92. And we all know what happens there.
I remember Senna famously saying he wanted to give IndyCar a go after his F1 career was over, and sadly he didn't get a choice in that one.
We're 3/4 of the way through. Look at Lynn St. James. I know there are only like 15, 16 cars left in the race, and Lynn's not like in the lower end of them, but she's there, man.
She's there, man. That means something when half the field is wrecked.
Yeah, dog. John Andretti getting top off in the Pennzoil VDS Hall special. God, this is such a good-looking car. Of course, John Andretti 2 years later will be the first person to attempt the double back when the Indianapolis 5. Now, why are we talking with Nigel Mansell in an Indy 500 broadcast? He's a Formula One guy.
Yeah, he's competing for the Formula One World Championship right now. This might finally be the year for Mansell.
Oh, yeah. I mean, could you imagine? I mean, that Williams is just dialed in. Senna can't keep up. Schumacher can't keep up. Patrese can't even keep up with Mansell. Bless him, he's trying his best. You don't think things are getting so tense between... Oh, there's Ayrton. You don't think things are getting so tense between Nigel and Frank Williams that you think of leaving? Why would he?
Well, let's just say Nigel's been effed around, politically speaking, like a good half dozen times by this point. I think Nigel's about fed up of this shit.
Where would he go? I mean, he's been with Ferrari already. Benetton seems like they're building with the future with Schumacher. You wouldn't think he'd go here, right?
Don't know, man. I've seen stranger things happen.
Yeah, like something like a Nigel Mansell, Michael Andretti series spot or something.
It would be quite a convenient move for all parties, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah. McLaren finally gets to lock down Michael. They've been courting him for a hot minute. Michael gets to realize his dream of chasing his father's footsteps and trying to become an F1 champion. Nigel gets to try something different with a top team. That would be so cool, man. Oh, that's the scuff mark from that pit crew guy that got run over.
Yeah, cool scuff mark the size of my fist.
They're borrowing crew from King Motorsports because you missed it earlier. Their day was short.
Very short.
We're 3/4 of the way through this. This has obviously been a very stop-start tape where you've kind of gotten a chance to see like the flavor of racing, how it was different back then versus what we have now at the 500. Carnage aside, what do you think of it?
I think it's great. I mean, the cars look great. The racing is raw. It's more visceral. It's a bit more savage. They're using every inch of this racetrack and then some. Like I said before, they're using the apron up to the grass. We just don't get that in modern day IndyCar. It's still every bit the visual spectacle that IndyCar is now, 32 years later. I'm enjoying it.
We're back to green, and hopefully we stay green for a hot minute because we have had a lot of attrition.
That would be nice.
This is Ray Hall.
Bobby Rahal a lap down, and he's still in 7th.
Yeah. Suffice to say, Michael Andretti's had a good race, and everybody else is just trying to catch up.
Yep. It's like Iowa last week in IndyCar. At one point, the top 10 were a lap down.
Unser Jr. disposes of him.
Inside of turn 1. Holy. On the apron, 4 wheels off.
Andretti running it low. I mean, he's just dialed in right now.
He's been automatic all day.
It'd be such a good thing to kickstart his 92 season because, again, the reliability of the Cosworth Ford engine has not always been there at the start of the season. Remember, it's a brand new program. You expect there to be some teething pains. He's had 2 retirements in the first 3 races, and he only has like 6 points. And remember, only the top 12 got points. It wasn't points for everybody that just turned up.
I see.
Ari Leindyke is like the only person even close to his zip code at this stage.
Yeah, Leindyke's trying.
Remember, same Ford Cosworth engine in the back of that car. Last lap speed 221.61. Plenty of clean air. Not a lot of dirty weight behind. It's a lot of motor and tire. It's like all motor and tire at this stage.
221 miles an hour at this year in these cars at that speed round here. This is 30 years ago. That's still wild to me to wrap my head around. It feels like if you didn't know any better, this was last year's Indy 500 wasn't for the video quality.
There is a 4-year window where there's still more speed to gain.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, Ari Leindyke still holds the fastest 4-lap average run in the history of the Indianapolis 500. And because he set it on the second day after his pull day run was thrown out for being underweight, it only got him a spot in the middle of the grid in 96.
Like, wasn't it like 239 miles an hour or something stupid?
237.
Like 237. Jesus Christ.
We've had pole runs that are not quite as fast, but they are still the pole day records.
Yep. Phew-wee.
And I think it's pointed out that at this stage, with like 3/4 of the race about to be done, we only have 2 rookies left. Ted Prappis, who escaped that collision with Mears and Fittipaldi and Crawford earlier, is still somehow running, and Lynn St. James.
Yay!
There is Al Unser Sr., injury substitute, started 22nd, currently 4th.
Unk still got it. He's going to get out of that car and start doing jump rope with his ass.
He's 53 years old at this stage.
53.
He's older than Chip Ganassi, man.
And Chip looks as old as he feels. It's the old Mark Briscoe wrestling line. Oh, man, he was old as dirt.
Would you believe me if I told you that at this stage, Chip Ganassi is in his mid-30s?
No, I don't believe you. You need more people.
You don't have to believe me. You just got to look it up. Here's Gary Benthausen. Now, that is a man that's seen a lot of hard miles at this racetrack.
That is a man that has seen some shit.
Oh, his car got hit by a tire. Golly.
Well, was that the same loose tire that came off Jeff's car, I wonder?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
In some respects, because Roberto Carrera had a close call like that in 87, Gary's very lucky to be here. He's 50 years old. He's from Indiana. If he raced today, the TV crew would be turning up the crowd microphone for the big pop that he inevitably gets when he takes the lead, just not this year.
Oh, yeah. The
Like
Connor Daly treatment.
He was the Ed Carpenter of his day.
The man who'll never have to buy a drink around here again if he wins, Ed Carpenter.
And sadly, I don't think, much like in Gary's case, that win's coming for Ed. I think that window shut a while ago.
Probably. Ain't gonna stop old Space Guardian from trying, though.
125 laps down. Michael Andretti's led all but 12 of them. 4 different leaders, 9 lead changes, 10 cautions.
10 cautions.
And 16 cars still left running.
So the smaller the field is out.
Yeah. We're never going to have a symmetrical split. And we got the smaller split.
Here in the chat saying, don't tell Ed that. He still believes. Isn't that what the 500 is all about? Sure thing, Kira, whatever you say. So shout out to my chat that has been here since, oh God, I want to say 9 p.m. UK time. It's now 20 to midnight, and they're still chugging. Thank you, guys.
Unser's running at a competitive space with leaders. Yeah, thank you very much, by the way. And thank you for everybody that's been listening for most, some, or even all of these 600 episodes. We really appreciate it. You've seen us grow and develop.
And all I've come to learn over the last 11 years is commentary is hard.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's hard it's all for like Paul Page and Sam Posey, and they're pros at it. 26 Indy 500 starts for Al Unser, and one of 3 4-time winners in this field. We never got that again because we'd have to wait a little bit for the next 4-time winner to come around. He is somewhere, I believe, karting or just climbing the single-seater ladder in his native Brazil. And he has 2 surnames.
It's time to climb.
Paul Newman on screen. He's the Newman of Newman Haas. Yes, that Paul Newman, famous actor, award-winning actor. Racing was really his passion to get away from the bullshit of the acting business. He was a good racing driver for his age. Like, if he got in the biz, like, 10, 20 years earlier, he'd probably be a works Porsche driver with a handful of Le Mans 24-hour wins. We haven't seen much of AJ Foyt all day.
There he is.
Remember, he put off 91 was supposed to be his last 500. This was the retirement tour, and then he decided, actually, I want to do this again. I still got the itch.
I've still got one more in me.
The Unser's 3rd and 4th. AJ Foyt in 10th. All he's got to do is keep running, and he's got a top 10 finish.
At his old age.
His old age of 57 when this race started.
50. What are we doing putting 57-year-olds in 230-mile-an-hour race cars?
Remember how big a deal it was that Elio started this year at 50?
Which is crazy.
You'll never see that again, man.
I don't care what you tell me, that shit's ridiculous.
Yeah, dog. It's a different game back then. 135 laps down. Andretti, Lyondike, Unser Jr., your top 3.
We're almost at 2 foot. Oh!
No. Someone's in the wall. That looks like a Target car.
Oh, no.
It's Lyondike.
Lyondike. Oh,
the
no.
only car that was running in Michael Andretti's zip code is out.
My goodness.
This is such a tough race.
What the hell happened to Harry Lyondike? Safety team there immediately on the scene.
Yep. This one, thankfully, does not look like as bad as all the other ones. And that is a high bar to clear.
Yeah. It's a wall scraper.
But it's enough to take him out of the race.
Here we go.
Yeah. Replay.
Oh, no.
Oh, you said it was a wall scraper. That is a deep scrape.
That is a 50-50 grind that wouldn't look out of place in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Like, all of a sudden, Chip Ganassi's hopes rest on Eddie Cheever Jr.
That's the 18th DNF in this race. Well, 17th technically. Roberto Guerrero did not start.
He still gets the third place credit.
I still love the fact that even 33 years ago, we have to insist on taking zoomed in pictures of every driver's partner.
Oh, trust me, Dre, especially in 82 and in this era, dog, the wife cam was in like its prime. Like, this is like prime Jordan.
A woman! They exist!
The wife cam is getting MVP votes every single year.
The chat saying, wall riding doesn't work at Indy. Good to know. Ross Chastain, I have horrible news for this year's Brickyard race.
Oh, dear.
To which I say, who's Ross Chastain? So that's a big old chunk of floor from the underside of that car. It's about the size of my arm.
And all the Newman Haas crew, I predict, has to do is just figure out, right, how do we make sure Michael gets every drop of fuel that he needs whenever we need to make this final pit stop to get him to the finish?
But first, another commercial.
Yep, it was like that in 1992, too. Except this time, we don't have, like, access to international commercial-free satellite feeds.
Yes, no Lynx commercials of men spraying their crotches. It's a plus.
So we're getting commercials. We got bowling. We've got gymnastics, the Dodge Challenge USA versus Japan. We got the mini marathon from New York City.
The New York City mini marathon brought to you by Advil.
Oh, and check out what's coming up after this. It's the annual LPGA Skins game. That was like the peak, like if La Femme Nikita was, or Chris Lee Knows Best was like the peak lead in to WWE Raw, then the LPGA Skins game was the peak lead out of the Indianapolis 500 at this peak. Not just women. Women playing golf.
Women playing golf. Also, the chat's apparently traumatized at the fact that I mentioned the Lynx commercial. I sincerely apologize.
All I'm saying is, I'm not even going to say one more.
So now, this is all shaken out. Apparently, it's now the Unsers 1 and 2.
Well, I mentioned a little. Unser Jr. has been trying to win this race. His dad won it 4 times. His uncle in the broadcast booth won it 3.
It's like being John Jones, the MMA fighter, knowing you're still somehow the 3rd most talented person in your family, despite the fact you were one of the greatest UFC fighters ever. Like, yes, you had a potentially all-pro edge rusher before he lost his mind, unfortunately, poor Chandler. And then Arthur, who won multiple Super Bowls as a defensive tackle.
I mean, Unser Jr. has already won a series title. He won that in 1990 with the same Gallus team.
Mm-hmm.
But the 500s eluded him. Came closest in 89. He has that awesome duel with Emerson Fittipaldi. They bang wheels, and Unser comes out on the wrong end of it. That's as close as he'd come, and he's still trying. 10 years after he debuted in this race in 82.
Yep.
They got to run through the list of casualties of this race.
My man said casualties.
Not like fatal casualties. I just want to point that out.
Glad we got that cleared up, yeah?
Yeah, because I heard that in that content for the first time. I was like, they're not dead.
They're just out of the biggest race in the world, so they might as well be.
I mean, $1 million for winning this race at this time, that is a lot.
That is a lot of sweet, sweet milk money.
I noticed Raul Boisel's car come up on screen. That's the Sega car. That's the Hiro Matsushita car. Matsushita broke his leg, by the way, no relation to Nobuharu. It's just a coincidence. And here's Scott Goodyear's car.
Oh, Scott Goodyear's still here.
Yeah, Scott Goodyear is here. This is a very strange deal that he had to get in this race. Because he's the full-time driver at Walker Racing. We're back to green. Goodyear's primary car was having trouble all during the first week of practice. So they have him qualifying a backup car. But in the second week of time trials, they put together a deal. They hire this journeyman driver, Mike Groff, to qualify the now repaired primary car. So basically, Derek Walker's thinking, right, I have a primary car that I'm not sure could put together a run, got a backup car. Why don't we just hire this guy to run the primary car just in case? And then we do a deal where no matter what happens, at the end of qualifying, we'll swap rides back so that ultimately, whether we get one car in the race or 2, Scott Goodyear will have a ride in the Indy 500.
Damn.
The problem is that Goodyear got bumped from the field. So that sucks for Mike Groff because they agreed to swap them over. And he knew he was going to have to start in 33rd position. And of course, in 1992, the number of drivers that have ever won from the last row of the grid is 0.
Yeah, not ideal. Meanwhile, Michael Andretti is back to pounding asses.
Oh, and with less traffic in his way, this is just going to be a cakewalk for him. Look at his results on the season. Australia, 17th, Phoenix, 10th, Long Beach, 16th. And some of those are retirements.
Yeah, nothing new in there.
And only Phoenix paid him points.
Man needs something to kickstart his season.
Yeah, this is important. He won an IndyCar Series title. He'd like to make it too. You can't really go into Formula One with your stocks dipping a bit.
Not ideal.
No. Wouldn't happen to know anybody that comes around later in his life that's dealing with a similar problem, right?
Right. My man's taking all the lines to keep Michael Andretti behind him here.
Because it's all on Eddie Cheever if they want to win this, if Ganassi wants to win this race with line bag out of it. Oh, too easy. Oh, look at Unser pop to the inside. It's them both.
Takes the pair of them, 3 wide down the back straight, and Al Unser takes the lead in the Indy 500.
Holy Moses, dog.
That's a shocker.
At 53 years old, he was probably not thinking he was going to run this race. Okay, this is for second. Cheever's a lap down.
Old man still got it. Mrs. Andretti could hardly watch.
Dog. I don't get it. Michael's fighting back, though. Look at the run he gets mid-straightaway.
Yeah, that's crazy. The amount of top speed difference that Andretti's car has got is nuts. That's got to be at least 3 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Look, he's putting it away on that main straight. No one can touch him in a straight line.
Unser's last lap, 218 point. Let's round it up and call it 0.8. That's quick, but Michael just blitzed him back half of the track.
Yeah, he's already got, 6-7 temps there?
The gearing is perfect for a day like this. I can imagine they're not even thinking about making many adjustments. I mean, it's still cold. It's still windy. Like, he's dialed in.
He's really feeling it now, Mr. Krabs.
That's trouble. We got a car slowing. That is Buddy Lazier.
No, not Buddy.
Who had the close call with the track steward very earlier in this race, and now he is grinding to a halt. It's another Buick-powered car with a suspected mechanical failure.
It's Jova for Buddy Lazier, the 19th DNF of this race. And we're at 3/4 distance, and we have 14 cars left.
Dude. It's not looking like a good day for him regardless. He had mechanical problems, and of course,
big smoke.
Nearly ran over a course worker earlier on.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Safety official's arse is on fire. The safety official, for lack of a better term, his arse is on fire.
Absolutely. His ass is in the jackpot. That's invisible fire from methanol. It gets better for Buddy Lazier, of course. He goes on to win the first split era Indianapolis 500 in 1996. He becomes an IndyCar Series champion in 2000. It's not all bad, but 92 was rough for him.
My man was still trying this in 2017. Like, I still remember that creative intro where he does a bowling impression, talking about a race he'd won 21 years prior in 2017.
Now, Henry Bach's going over some of the more recent list of injuries, including the Jeff Andretti crash, where they're telling him that he's going to Methodist Hospital. Again, as we mentioned, he breaks both his ankles and feet. It's a pretty bad hit.
JB saying, quote in the chat, Methodist Hospital currently looking like the scene around Homer's trampoline. Which, yeah.
I'm telling you, 1992, The Simpsons are cooking, man. Married with Children is cooking.
There's a part of the track that's now come off.
The cars are scraping so low that it's causing the track to chip up. It's crazy. And Al Unser Jr. leads. He's only led 12 laps.
Only the 10th lead change of the day, and we're now officially at 3/4 distance. We have 50 laps to go.
Maybe Sullivan's still running this race. I got to tell you, for the Galmer chassis, which is being sunsetted at the end of this IndyCar season, it's not doing all that bad.
No, it's almost like its objective hasn't been fully completed yet. Ignore what I said an hour ago.
Yeah. Of course, history would prove that, yes, it was an underbaked concept, and, running this high in the field alone is a huge accomplishment for Al Unser Jr. and Danny Sullivan. It just goes to show that, this team was good, drivers are good. Here's Ari Leindyke thinking, man, what happened?
Aaron Leindyke, who looks like he's playing for AC Milan.
Oh, dog. Oh, Ganassi. I'm just finding now, man. That has got to tear you up as an Inter supporter. The Ganassi's driving suits used to look like that.
As an Inter fan, it kills me a little inside. It really does.
Aren't you glad they went with the lightning bolt design and that's the livery that everyone remembers?
Yeah, just a smidge. I always like the black number 10 of Dario Franchitti more anyway. Don't tell Ed, he'll melt in a bucket.
Well, I tell you, it does eventually get better for Ari. He sets the 4-lap speed record. He wins another couple of poles. And he wins his second Indy 500 in 1997. And the race had a very funny conclusion. Oh, dear.
Oh, no.
That's Ted Prappis being pushed back. And that's somebody without their helmet. And that doesn't look like Ted. So has he already gotten out of the car?
It looks like it. He's out too.
Now with Ted Prappis out, Lynn St. James is the last rookie standing. But never mind that shit. You want to see the Barcelona Dragons play the Sacramento Surge in the World League of Football playoff?
Yeah!
Stay tuned next Sunday.
Football!
This is the best of this was our UFL if it had a weird European element to it.
Oh, yeah. As Kes points out, this is the 12th caution of this race. "12 cautions. We've had 20 cars out. We are down to a baker's dozen of 13.
Making it this far alone has been an accomplishment.
One of the most treacherous Indy 500s. One of the most treacherous IndyCar races I could ever remember watching. Brought to you by Goodyear. Goodyear, we have a blimp. It's never mentioned.
Oh, absolutely. I've seen the Goodyear blimp. It's so cool. It's got aura, as they say.
Oh, that's hot. Oh, that's hot.
150 laps down. Unser Sr., behind Unser Jr., Michael Andretti in third. Only 13 cars, man. Still in the race, as you mentioned. If you just swap the cars that are out of this race with the ones that are still in it, you'd have a really good field of car. I have 18 cars that are still left that contest this video.
You'd fancy your chances off of that field.
Danny Sullivan, does he think he's got enough in him for a second Indy 500 win? Does Al Unser think he can get his first? Or are we all just waiting for the inevitable? Because nobody has been able to catch up to Michael Andretti for once he's been able to get out in front.
Indeed, we're green again. And guess who's pulling away?
We've had a pit cycle already, so Andretti leads. Scott Goodyear in second from 33rd on the grid.
It's not bad. It's not a bad day, is it?
Nah, he's just been plugging away at it and avoiding misfortune.
There's something to that, certainly.
Unser Jr. in third, Unser Sr. in fourth.
Hunk still chugging. Shit is wild, man.
Unser Jr. running in third. And I've noticed, like, this is a cool race, but man, the skies are so great. Like, this is like the only aesthetic drawback of this race. It's just like, if it had just a little bit more sunshine in it.
You'd probably still have half the cars in this race.
Unser Jr.'s not had a bad season. Top fives in every race. Fourth,
solid.
Fourth, and he loves Long Beach, man. Al Unser Jr. loves the street circuit. Like, we think Kyle Kirkwood loves street circuits now. Al Unser Jr., in his prime, king of the streets.
I did hear he could drive a bit.
That is a three-tool driver. 4 if you consider short ovals and super speedways an entirely different discipline. Back when we had multiples of those.
That's cute. I mean, how many super speedways do we have now? 1.
This is it. We don't have Michigan no more.
Sectus ain't walking through that door. Fontana's not walking through that door.
None of those places are even built yet.
Nope. Grand opening, grand closing. And also, you ain't joking. There's like 100% cloud cover up.
Oh, yeah.
It is grim out there.
These are the tough conditions. These are the tough conditions that find the greats of this race.
Absolute wife cam vibes at the moment here as well, by the way.
So if I make that right, we have a Ford powered car at the front, Chevrolet A engines in second and third, and a Buick in fourth with Unser Sr. I tell you, there's still one Buick car that's chugging, although Unser was probably determined when he kissed the wall there to make sure that he made a spectacular exit from this race.
Well, if you're going to go out, you go out big. Yeah. Like, the field took that far too literally for my taste.
I think we got time for one more round of pit stops at this stage with 3/4 of the race left. Remember, these were thirsty engines.
Oh, yeah. I saw those pit runs. Nowadays, we're doing 37 laps on a full tank of fuel. These cars are doing like 18, 19. And the only reason they've been able to stretch them is because we've had so much caution.
Yeah. Look at the LED display that's giving us a full readout of what Danny Sullivan's going through. 3G sustained through the corners. Cornering speeds about what they are now.
Yeah, 200 and nearly 30 miles an hour on the back straights. Half throttle through the bends, but still doing 215.
It probably got the turbo turned down quite a bit because that's something you twist a knob and you could tell that turbo how much it wants to just through that engine.
Yeah, what's your fuel on that, mind you?
Absolutely. I think they're minding their P's and Q's. Sullivan's done this a few times. He knows what he's up to, but he's going to need to try and find some way to get back up to the lead lap because right now he's not on it. And yeah, he still might come away with the top 5 finish once all things are said and done.
Hasn't got to work too hard given the state of the field after this one.
You just don't want to be the next caution.
We got plenty of those.
Say Danny Sullivan this year on the rebound after being involved in the Alfa Romeo IndyCar program, which was not good. Part of the reason why Roberto Guerrero struggled in the aftermath of his near-fatal crash into the 87. Because Roberto Guerrero was also part of it, and it didn't go great for him either.
The visual metaphor was that safety official early with his cheeks on fire. This is the one time you don't want toasted buns.
Is the very Australian Derek Walker, Scott Goodyear's car owner. They also had a car for Johnny Rutherford, but sadly, the 3-time Indy 500 winner was too slow to make the field on bump day. Goodyear, kind of a journeyman at this stage of his career, just really trying to get a foothold. But I tell you what, if he completes the improbable, if he completes the last to first comeback, everybody's going to know his name and face because it's going on a big, shiny trophy.
Yeah, Indy 500 immortality.
First time that's ever been done. He looks quick, but the way it's looking right now, I don't know if anybody's beaten Michael today.
But you got 38 to go, and Michael Andretti still in the lead.
Look at John Paul Jr. still chugging along in ninth between Boiselle and John Andretti.
It's like the Andrettis are still here. It's a real family affair.
Yep, half of them are still here. The other half are being looked over at Methodist Hospital. AJ Foyt down at 11th, having a really forgettable race, is still going to come away with a pretty decent payday.
Oh, yeah. A good points day, as they say in modern day IndyCar.
Yeah. Though at this stage, AJ Foyt is like, he's 57, and he doesn't want to run all these road and street courses, or even all these ovals, man. He's happy to defer that 14 car to some young guys when all this other crap comes up.
Yeah, let that shit be somebody else's problem.
Reminder that AJ Foyt was still a damn good road racer. Won Le Mans with Ford, with Dan Gurney. They didn't have to get along. They just had to drive the nuts off that car.
Yep. Basic requirements.
It's a very happy mustached John Menard who is just thrilled that Al Unser, his injury substitute driver, is running such a good race in fourth. John Menard would have many close calls with success at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway over the years. He's a businessman. He's a racing enthusiast. And he loves putting cars at this race in the Speedway.
Oh, yeah.
Michael negotiating lap traffic. Is that Dominic Dobson that's still in this race?
Yes, he's still chugging.
How very Jacob Abel finishes 11th by doing nothing of him.
That man was lapped 7 times during that race in Iowa last week, and he still finished 11th. Conveniently timed cautions for the win.
You've got 30 laps to go here. I'm thinking the best battles on track might be for... Well, right now it's for third.
Yes.
And how much... And I don't want to play the angle of just like how badly do family members want to race each other, but like...
It's father versus son here.
Yeah. They do tend to race each other quite hard. The other element is this, that Al Unser, his legacy, Senior's legacy is secure. He doesn't need to go run right into the grass past the apron to get around his son to get this third place.
RJ, did you ever watch the first season of Invincible?
No. That's somebody that read like the comic book, so that was like 15 years ago. I'm also not friends with that person anymore. This is not an indictment of Invincible. But you know what this is? This is a good way to tell you that Al Unser Sr. just took third place from his son like it was nothing.
Oh, yeah. Ain't nobody ever taught you this stuff before, son? Literally, son? Look, hey, man, Ralph Earnhardt raced his son hard. I'm just saying. Made a man out of him.
So they're Goodyear's gapping them, and Michael is just getting ready for his last pit stop.
Although, to be fair, we did just see a father race a son very hard. Somewhere, Simon Patterson has just scrunched a newspaper into a very tight ball and thrown it into the trash while screaming Kobe.
Y'all, 1992 in motorcycle racing was different. Like, if Mick Doohan was just staying healthy, he's beating the brakes off of everybody in 500 cc's.
Oh, yeah.
Rainey and Schwanzer, days are numbered, pal.
One of the greatest ever, Rainey. My God. He could ride a bike.
I mean, those three are just like three of the best. And you forget, like, oh, yeah, Wayne Gardner, Eddie Lawson are also in the periphery. Here's Michael for his last stop. Jesus, he's flying.
Michael Andretti entering a pit lane at 220 miles an hour. It will not be anything less than terrifying.
Dog, Scott Dixon probably wishes he had that a couple years ago. Well, it's not going to be as quick as some IndyCar pit stops we're used to, but this has got to be money. No apparent mistakes.
Yeah, lost
Just
set of
get
tires.
all the fuel that it needs, and he can manage from here. He's got enough of a margin, man.
He's out, he's away.
Money. Goodyear's in for his stop.
Yep, all good.
Walker, Chief Mechanic, Buddy Lindblom, Scott Goodyear's having. This is a career-defining race for Goodyear.
Oh yeah,
all he's got to do is bring it home, and it's a good day. We got a little bit of sun bursting through the clouds here, and here's Unser Jr. coming in. Senior's gonna cycle to the front.
Hunk's still chugging.
Valvoline car looks so good. Oh, these cars look so good, man.
Oh, yeah, they're great.
I said it before, I'll say it again. A 13.9, a 14-second pit stop is going to lose you to the 2025 Indy 500. But in 1992, it might just be what you need to secure a podium place. Even though there's no real podium at the Indianapolis 500 or any oval track for that matter, because it's all about the winner's circle. Not the podium circle, the winner's circle.
The important one.
Oh, God, this was back before the victory lane had that lift.
Oh, yeah.
That's such a cool thing, man. This is pre-Pagoda.
Like something out of Robot Wars now.
Look, there's Lindsay James being a lap, but she's still in the race.
She's gonna
win. She's gonna win Rookie of the Year if she just keeps it pointed on the track at the checkered flag.
It's basically by default.
Even then, I mean, well, I don't think she'd get outvoted by the press.
I'd hope not.
So behind a pack of lap cars, there is Unser Sr.
He's running along here, man.
First time leading the Indy 500 since 1988, the year after he won his fourth.
That's like 4 years ago, man.
Yeah. Penske was getting ready to be like, hey, Al, like, you've done enough for us, man. You don't need to come back no more.
And he goes. Got to get this right, boys.
No matter what happens here, it's been an incredible run to show that maybe Al Unser Sr. still has one or two more good ones of these left in him.
Unk.
This is such a cool looking car, too, by the way.
It's pretty.
All it's got to do is just last the distance. It's kind of a slow stop, but again, 17.6 seconds, like another slide for modern times. That's just mid for 1992.
Yeah.
Not going to win in the race, but like, not going to lose him at.
Which is not ideal, given he's got a shorter fill to get to the end than most folks, and he's still at above a 17-second stop.
Yeah. Of course, that pushrod Buick V8 V6 engine, it makes a lot more power because it is production based.
Yep.
That's a little quirk of the USAC rules. Wonder if another more prominent manufacturer with a deeper budget will ever exploit that in the future. But more power doesn't always mean more efficiency.
No. How do the Americans extract such a small amount of power out of a car?
Getting down to 20 to go. This kind of feels like it's the coronation of Michael Andretti, does it not?
Yeah, it certainly feels like it's Michael's to lose here. Bobby Rahal coming in.
Yeah, he's probably going to finish like a lap down, but it's still going to be like a very good point stay for him. And he's going to keep the IndyCar Series points lead. Sorry, PPG IndyCar World Series.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure I get that right. "15 seconds. That'll do nice."
Off he goes.
Tell you, this owner-driver business for Bobby is going good.
Like, when you come out of the pits, you're straight back onto the racetrack. It is wild. Foyt coming in.
You think this could be his last Indy 500 pit stop? I mean, he put off retirement last year. Is to say he can't keep putting off retirement again?
Wouldn't put it past him, RJ.
Probably. Although, small spoiler, this is actually the last Indy 500 pit stop for AJ Foyt. He announced his retirement before the start of 1993's month of May. And turned the car over to Robbie Gordon.
Bobby, Gordon.
Yeah, I mean, Robbie Gordon was a hot commodity back in this day. 18 laps to go. We're finally getting the ticker that tells you how many laps are left.
Finally. Graphics.
Yeah, they were very minimal back in the day. I need to remind you, we're 2 years away from Fox Television Studios somehow getting rights to the NFL and putting a permanent score bug in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. That was a game changer.
Oh, yeah.
Eddie Cheever's race has kind of slowly come apart in the last few days. Again, you saw a little bit of the vision of what's to come, but they're not quite there yet. 182 out of 200 laps done.
We got 19 to go here.
And this is getting interesting. This is Goodyear and Unser Jr. battling for what will be second place behind Michael Andretti. This could be the battle. This could be the most fun battle at the end here.
They're going hard for it now. Only about half a second between them.
Measuring in car lengths, and there's not many between them. Of course, they're all just fighting for the silver medal here. Unser dropped down to fourth, kind of a slow pit stop. Cheever's now out of the race. Quietly, we didn't see it, but he's retired with some sort of mechanical. He's out of the running.
We have 12 cars left.
Oh, my goodness, man. This has been a tough one. It goes without saying. I've said it so many times. Unser's just got to follow him. Maybe he waits for Goodyear to, miss a shift or something, because that is possible. It's not like...
He's got traffic.
He's got traffic. This will help. This will help him big. He's going to get a slipstream. Jericho to the inside. He's almost in the grass.
Yeah, and he's free.
He's got it done. With the assist from Lynn St. James there, Al Unser Jr. has gone to second. Scott Goodyear drops to third.
Beautiful work there. Using Lynn St. James to get to the front.
Shelley is watching on, trying to see Al Jr. get to the finish.
Will Al. Going hard. We got less than 15 to go here. We're into the business end of this now. Elbows out.
Yeah.
If you've got any extra pace, any extra turbo, now's the time to use it.
Goodyear might need to save a little bit more, but with 11 to go, I mean, it's all academic at this point. Michael's got this.
Oh, no!
Oh, no!
Michael,
are you kidding me?
Oh, my goodness!
Oh!
No! Oh,
Michael Andretti is slowing. This is not part of the plan. This is not part of the entertainment. Michael Andretti, who had this race won, is crawling to a stop.
You have got to be kidding.
He led 4/5 of this race. He led it 100 miles, 200 miles, 300 miles, 400 miles.
He has dominated this entire race. It was in the bag with 11 to go, and Michael Andretti is out.
Oh, my God. And the caution is going to come out.
The caution is out. We're going to have a sprint finish with just 11 cars left. Oh, geez. Wife Cam is going apocalyptic right now.
No pit. Pit lane is closed. We are under yellow. Dog. I think if the Andretti curse was not real before,
it is now.
After what happened to Mario, after what happened to Jeff, and now what happened to Michael, it's real now.
Oh, dear. What a race. What a performance. And it all counts for naught. Michael Andretti will finish 12th.
The engine shut down. The Ford Cosworth was having reliability issues earlier this year. I wouldn't think it would have reared up this late.
Startling. Astonishing. The drama. Now what?
Now what? Well, all of a sudden, remember that battle between Unser and Goodyear?
It's now for the win.
And we're going to a restart with about 8 to go. Listen, one of these two things is either going to happen. Unser Jr. is going to get the Indy 500 win to match his father and his uncle, the one that got away from him 3 years ago. Or Scott Goodyear
is going to win from 33rd on the grid.
Yeah. And honestly, kind of a nobody at this stage in his career. Not really. Not as much as Unser or many of these other guys that have fallen to the wayside.
Either way.
Huge.
Either way, what a story. We are green with 8 to go.
Oh, this is going to be riveting.
Goodyear, side by side nearly through the first turn.
It's not going to be a race where you're going to see like in the mid-2010s where they'll just slipstream, slingshot past each other. Then the reversal happen the next lap. Unser Jr. can defend, but you can also get a big run. Scott Goodyear knows that, and he's got one more lap of fuel that he has to save, though. That might be the only tricky thing, but
Going back to the main straightaway, we're going to have 6 to go when they hit the line. 15 miles of racing left.
He's getting closer.
Goodyear's running close, but he can't get close enough for a pass.
Remember, if these two suddenly crash out, Unser Jr. is Unser Sr. is a 5-time Indianapolis 500 winner.
Imagine. Ridiculous stuff. Yeah, Goodyear is all over Unser Jr. like a hot rash.
And he needs this. Sam Posey, a fellow Canadian, has mentioned he knows what Goodyear has struggled to get just to get to this stage in his career. He's doing this in a car that he didn't even qualify. This was an arrangement that was agreed in out of desperation just to see if he could get into the race.
And now it comes down to the next 12 miles.
Well, have to go. 4.5 to go at this stage, really.
Did you try everything you can? It looks like Little Al's got a little more on the main straightaways, but Goodyear's very quick through the corners. It's a classic setup battle here.
There's still a little bit of turbulent air. It's not as bad as it would be, but there's still a little bit that Goodyear has to contend with, and that's a benefit to Unser Jr. The question is, can Goodyear save that fuel? What has he got left in the tank here, man?
4 laps to go. We got 10 miles to go. 10 miles of racing left. Unser Jr. hanging on. Goodyear trying to stay with him.
I'm telling you, man. This is the Bulls era Jordan to the wife cam.
Oh, yeah. And these two have pulled away from old man Unser Sr. You get a sandwich bag on the hard camera. Goodyear's real close this time, real close. Unser's
They're
getting
running
defensive.
down the wall. They used to do this in 92 as well. 3 to go.
3 to go. Goodyear's real close. He's 2 car lengths back through 1 and 2.
You're thinking he's got to save this up for a pass down the backstretch in a 3, right?
You'd think. The new Garden Special.
It's not quite as aggressive a block as you'd see nowadays.
He's getting real
just
close,
enough
but
to hold it back.
he needs a monster run because I don't think he's getting enough in the slipstream onto the straights in order to think about a move on Little Al. We're coming up to the main straight again with 2 to go here. 5 miles left.
Every seat is sold out in the Indianapolis 500, and there ain't no inch of ass in any of these pieces of aluminum.
That's 400,000 here, RJ. 400,000.
It looks like more.
Absolutely crazy, and they're watching one of the greatest finishes in Indy 500 history. We have 3.5 miles to go. Little Al is hanging on.
Surely, 600th of a second decided the race in 1982 when Gordon Johncock won his second over Rick Mears.
They're around turn 4 for the penultimate time. Unser Jr. leads over Goodyear. The white flag is out. This is the final lap of the Indy 500. We've been here for nearly 3 hours now, and they are going at it.
Someone's going to win their first. Someone is going to get their face on the Borg Warner Trophy for the first time. I think it might be Unser Jr., but what is Scott Goodyear saved for the next 2 corners and a stretch?
Has he got anything left? He's losing time on that back straight. He's got 3 or 4 to the line.
Surely not. He drew a little closer in 3.
Has he got an excellent run through 3? His turn 4 is the best he's had. It's going to be a drag race to the finish. Unser Jr. and Goodyear separated by 1 car length. Goodyear to the inside. He doesn't get there. Unser Jr. wins the 500.
Unser Jr. is an Indy 500 winner at last.
Unser Jr. by maybe 15 feet. Unbelievable finish.
10 years ago, he debuted. 3 years ago, he lost it in one of the toughest finales ever. And finally, Unser Jr. has an Indy 500 win to match his IndyCar Series title with a previous spec Chevy engine and a chassis that this man, Rick Gallas, is ready to give up on.
What an unbelievable finish.
Freaking matter. The most complete driver in the series has his Indy 500 win. He'll get another in 94, as it turns out.
Yeah, not bad.
Scott Goodyear, he came so close. He'd come close again, but that win just never came for him. Always have a habit of being in contention, but just never being fortunate enough to win one of these.
They've got the time in shape. Unser Jr. wins by 400ths of a second. It is the closest finish in the history of this race.
And it still is the closest finish in the history of this race.
Unbelievable finish. That was magic. Yeah, Unser Jr. by less than a car length at the line. Maybe 12 feet.
It is the second time that a driver went from last to second.
Joseph nearly pulled that off this year.
But he didn't get this close. Not like this. And Unser Jr., you have to peel him out of this car. Not because he's hurt, but because he's given everything in this one. If it was just 100, 200 more feet, he gets it. This is the finish over the line.
At that speed, it's about half a car at that speed. It's crazy how close that is.
There's a trophy, victory lane. Your face will be on that soon.
Holy hell. What a race. What a finish. He said he almost took it too easy off the final corner.
We almost did. Sliding doors moment.
Right through that chat says, quote, my favorite fun fact from Wikipedia. Unser's car placed its timing transponder in the nose rather than the side pod. They reckon the real unofficial finish was .033.
Yeah, it looked closer than the one when it rolled out on the sheet.
Unreal. It's one of the closest finishes in the history of this speedway. Only that epic Freedom 100 four-wide finish, I think, was ever closer. The phrase, look at Dempsey, will be forever etched into the history of that place.
He was mechanically overmatched for a whole month, and you just don't know what Indy means, is the famous quote that Unser Jr. gave us.
Oh.
To this day, they still talk about this finish. I know 2011 had incredible drama at the end. 2006, an incredible drama at the end. We've seen some in the last decade that we've been doing the show that have had incredible finish, but I always look back to this one. Like, this still stands the test of time.
Oh, it's a 10 out of 10 race. Easy. That was ridiculous. That had everything. Drama, chaos, shock, shenanigans, and an incredible finish.
Yeah. You took the words right out. And this is at the height of IndyCar's mainstream popularity.
1 for the road, according to Raptor as well. There were 85 laps of this race under caution. If the pace car had been an official entry, it would have finished 23rd.
Which would have meant a 23rd place finish for the Cadillac Alante, a car that has such a strong reputation that Cadillac themselves does not want people to run it in 24 hours of Lemons events, because that's what it is fodder for in the modern day. But in 1992, that is a sleek, Italian-styled luxury coupe for the future.
Oh, hell yeah. Wow. Wow. Wow.
We got 20 seconds of this tape left. I mean, it's functionally over, but like, Dre, you said it. 10 out of 10 race. This race gave you everything. This is my first time watching back front in a while. I know if Chris was here with us, he couldn't be due to technical issues. I know if Cam was with us, he couldn't be here due to other stuff. I think we'd all agree the same thing. I mean, that's one of the all-time Indianapolis 500s. That's one of the races that we tell future generations about, man.
I can imagine. I mean, I watched 24's race, and I thought 24 was the best 500 I've ever watched, and that was an epic race in its own right. Very different, unique circumstances as to what made it so special. But again, an unbelievable finish in that one too, which elevated it to that kind of all-time status. This was a race of attrition, unbelievably difficult conditions, incredibly temperamental cars, shock reliability, some whoppers of crashes in there as well. It was like just surviving that race felt like an accomplishment in its own right. And for all of that to happen, the heartbreak for Michael Andretti, the real birth of the Andretti curse as we know it today, from a race that he had pretty much sewn up and all but won. He was clearly by a country mile the fastest car in that race, and it was not close. for that to play out, and the fact that we had such a fantastic final fight between Unser Jr. and Scott Goodyear all the way to the line, separated by 400ths of a second, maybe 6-7 feet by the time it's all said and done. What a race. Unbelievable. That was absolutely well worth the price of admission. My goodness.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Great finish. Legendary finish. Pays off would have been just a tough month at the Speedway. You know, we talked about some of the crashes that we did see, you know, with Jeff Andretti and others, Nelson Piquet. Of course, lost Joey Marcello that week before he even got a chance to run his first Indy 500. It was a tough month. There was a lot of sorrow. And even on the pace laps, can you imagine how this race would be different if Roberto Guerrero simply got to take the green flag? But of course, we'll never know that. Dre, I'm so glad that we got to sat down and watch this together. And thank you very much for us listening to us yammer over it and sort out our technical issues during the first bit of it with us.
Yeah, for the people that are still here in the chat, some of them have been here for nearly 3 3/4 hours. We did have some technical gremlins to iron out, and the first time we tried this, and honestly, it still wasn't perfect. Riverside screen share is very loud, so sometimes I can barely hear RJ over the commentary, and I just thought,
and I can barely hear this because I've got this turned down as low as I possibly can while making sure that Dre has a piece of the commentary. And I'm Sam Posey, Paul Page, and crew.
I made a business decision about 40 minutes in. Fuck it, I'm just going to suck it up and do this, and it was worth every penny of concentration and grit. I am shattered as I sit here before you 20-1 in the morning UK time, just trying to juggle that whole idea of watching for the first time, trying to soak it all in, trying to listen to you drop some fantastic knowledge on it, and while also trying to have my own thoughts and perspective and try to comment on it as it was going. That was a challenge, but it was well worth it, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we did.
Yeah.
Just like you've hopefully enjoyed as many of these 600 episodes we've put out in the last, nearly 11 years. Just to put a neat little bow on this, once again, a huge thank you to everybody who's listened to one episode all the way up to 600. As I said and joked before many, many times, this was a university project that has gone massively out of hand, and it's ended up becoming so much more than that. A genuine community. I take immense pride in being able to share this with, a vessel of entertainment that's so different from what's out there already. And I just sincerely hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have over the last decade plus. It's been an honor and a privilege to be able to keep doing this. And I have no intention of slowing down. So, again, here's to the next 600. Special thanks to all of my co-hosts, to RJ O'Connell, to Cam Buckley, to Ryan Eric King, to Krista Hardy, to everybody else that's been involved. We've been so blessed and fortunate to have so many brilliant co-hosts over the years. Adam Johnson, Ed Hamilton, Lewis Sotheby. We got Spencer Hall and Ryan Nanny in the last 18 months, which is just incredible. As guests.
We got Jack Harvey as a guest, man, and now look what he's doing at Fox.
He's been an outstanding broadcaster for us.
The Bike Live days. We got the late great Nikki Hayden on there, man.
We've had like half a dozen biking world champions on this show, which still rattles me to this very day that we've had Nikki Hayden and Danny Kent and Chaz Davies and Brad Binder we've had on the show, and both Lowe's brothers, and it's been such a privilege to be able to do this. I never thought to myself a decade ago that I'd be doing this shit professionally, let alone as a hobby. And it's such an incredible experience, and long may it continue. So that'll just about do it for our 600th episode. To put a neat little bow on things, you could follow us, motorsport101.com on our website. If you want to follow us on Blue Sky, you can. Dre Harrison, the B-Scout Social, RJ O'Connell, the same. The podcast itself is on Twitter, motorsport_101, on Instagram, M101 Pod. Motorsport101 Pod. You can check us out on TikTok as well, M101_podcast. And if you're really lucky, so you can back us financially on Patreon, patreon.com/Motorsport101. We'll be back a little bit later this week for the usual rounds of our bikes from the Sachsenring in Germany as Marc Marquez took his 12th victory at the Sachsenring, and IndyCar's doubleheader at Iowa, where it looks like Alex Pillow may have just put one hand and four fingers on his fourth Astor Cup. But the way we got there was dramatic, to say the least. But until next time, from me, Dre Harrison, and from RJ O'Connell, thank you so much for 600 episodes. And we'll catch you guys next time. Sayonara.
One more thing, y'all. There's still a 10th anniversary that we need to celebrate.
Ooh,
How about Kuala Lumpur? It's pretty scenic that time of year.
Good idea.